takes boldness to build a city, but for Motown's founder, being self-assured meant his downfall. The hubris of man is a dangerous thing, but not as dangerous as a demonic force that must be appeased to keep it from wreaking havoc to all those it encounters. Detroiters know to beware this devilish creature, and if not, the consequences can be severe. This week's episode is The Nain Rouge.
A bump in the night, your heart fills with dread. Probably a murderer who wants you dead. It could be a ghost, a demon, or worse. Perhaps you're the victim of a witch's curse. It's hopeless, you're doomed. You'd call a priest if you could. You'd rather just listen to who? Sinisterhood.
I would like to petition Tim Robinson to do a to bring Detroiters back and have the Nain Rouge be a guest star, or just write in I think you should leave sketch for it.
And for such a Detroit-ish topic, I'm surprised it wasn't addressed at all in any of his media, whether it was Detroiters or sketches on I Think You Should Leave. It has its own movie, which we will discuss in the episode. But I think the character or the actor is already chosen. It's the guy that runs around to all the bookstores dressed up as the sexy. He's dressed as this sexy devil in like a sexy smoking jacket. You could make something out of that. You know what? Tim Robinson will write it. You just be a part of it.
I think Tim Robinson should play the Nain Rouge.
Even better. Can you imagine?
Yes, I can, and it's fantastic in my head, so I would love to see it come to life.
And then we can have Sam Richardson play Cadillac, who gets into a fight, and they're beefing. Why does this movie not exist already?
We've written so many, and by written I mean come up with, so many wonderful screenplay ideas over the past week.
We're just ideating.
We're on fire.
We're ideating.
Somebody give us a show. Give us a show to just pitch shows, and then somebody else makes the shows. We would be great at that.
We come up with the idea, someone else just writes it, but we get to make all the decisions on it. That sounds like a blast.
That's my dream. Yeah,
this character is rife for the show that we covered here, just reading about him, learning about him, and now we have a new bucket list, which is to go in March to Detroit and participate in the Marche du Nain Rouge, which is the big parade, because it seems like it's a hoot. And after the show, we met a real-life Ghostbuster.
That's true.
Who they said they went out and they helped fight the Nain Rouge. So first of all, I need to join a Ghostbusters crew.
Why aren't you already in one?
I do have, I'm not even going to lie. Look what's on this. It says Ghostbusters Paranormal Investigator. It's a second badge.
Who gave you a second badge?
I bought this at the Spirit Halloween store. But this might have been before George Brown gave me my Judge Christie bailiff badge. But now I have two badges. I got to wear two badges on
You
my
got to
shirt.
get a denim jacket so you can pin all these things on your jacket.
Done and done. And I get my name across the back.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
I will have to do it. But this was such a fun time in Detroit. And we got to have some Detroit-style pizza.
Always good.
And the most Detroit of all, we ate at Guy Fieri's Flavortown Kitchen.
That was an experience. It was an experience. I can't recall what I got. I want to say it was a sandwich of sorts.
You got a sandwich, and the fries have donkey sauce, so you get some dip and sitch. I will not
from
lie
donkeys. To you. The meat of donkeys blended and poured on some fries.
You know, like they have duck fat fries. They have donkey sauce fries. I'm not going to lie. This is so dumb and very stupid, but I took the sticker off of the to-go bag and I put it on my planner.
I love it.
So I have a Guy Fieri sticker now. And because I did get a Detroit sticker, it's like smaller because I've been, getting stickers. We both have. But this one is the Guy Fieri Flavortown Kitchen.
That one you can't buy. You can, but you got to order the food to get it. So
I ate a lot of donkey sauce to get that sticker. I'm not giving it up now. But we had that. And then I was very pleased. We had several listeners reach out and say there's a Detroit-style gluten-free pizza. So we were able to get that delivered to the hotel, which was fantastic. So overall, a great time. I wish we would have had more time in Detroit because it's where my old man was born. So he lived there till he was 12. So it was cool to be in his hometown.
That's right. He was born there. And how did he grow up there? Did he go to high school there? I can't remember.
He spent until he was 12. They moved
That's
to
right.
Tennessee when he was 12, and so from 12 on up, that's where the rest of my family now lives in Tennessee in the east in my
Your
Tennessee
hill people.
My hill people, yes,
you're
absolutely.
from all over.
So
Well,
yeah, so we've got a foot in it. But he grew up right by Motown, so it was really cool to be in that city and hear his stories of growing up and like putting a location with all of his stories that he used to tell, and had some great coffee at a little coffee shop, and it's a great place. We both love Detroiters, so I think it was very thrilling to be in a place that I was like, it's just like the TV show. Is Mort Krim on TV? I want to get some burners. I never did.
Yeah, I wish we had more time there. Hopefully we go back and we do, because I'd love to see the Motown Museum and go to some more places. I definitely want to go back in March. The manager of the venue where we performed, the Majestic, had been to the parade, and she was like, it's so much fun. So definitely want to go back for that. And I am a Nain Rouge stan. I know a lot of people think he's a harbinger of doom, but I think they're flipping the narrative to make it be a more of a positive thing now and get away from more of the negative stuff.
And I think he isn't really a harbinger. Like, he was for a long time. And like you said, we're flipping the script. And if you reframe him, as a lot of people have, and there's two camps, there's the anti-Nain Rouge and the pro-Nain Rouge camp. But when you reframe it, I love the concept that it's this mascot of Detroit and that's been there and seen the city through all of its ups and downs and turmoil. And it's not really, it's like you can't blame Pete Delkus, our local Texas weatherman, for a tornado. If he tells you, hey, a tornado is going to come, you can't be like, Pete Delkus made the tornado happen. It's like he was warning. I think the Nain Rouge is like the meteorological kind of a figure who's it's not really weather, but maybe situations that happen in the city. But I do think he's very much a badass character. And I love that a city has, and this we had never heard of until our Patreon members had told us about it. And so I think that when you find something that's very local and centric that no one else would really talk about and that we can, dig into, and like we've never heard of it because we're not from there. I love that. And the same thing we learned with Tampa is coming up.
That's true. And even though locals were at the show, a lot hadn't heard of him. So I love when we find out about a local thing and then we teach locals about their local thing. And then they're like, man, I never even knew about this. In Chicago, even, we were just there and did 2 different local topics. And both nights people were like, I grew up here. I'd never heard of this guy. So that's always fun. And we love touring the cities and getting to learn more. We've gotten to do so much good traveling lately. So it's very fun, very cool. We have so many T-shirts from so many cities and stickers. That's become our thing, T-shirts and stickers. Well, we'll have to go back, and everyone at the Majestic was so nice. It was a very cool spot. It would be really cool to see live music there.
Yeah, we should have. I mean, we could have taken the opportunity to crowd surf because they asked us beforehand if there would be crowd surfing or any other type of moshing.
We did feel very special because we had a security guard, our own private security guard. And beforehand, he asked, is there anything I need to know about y'all's fans? And we're like, they get wild. You might get some panties thrown at you. They'll probably try and get on stage. And he said, really? And we said, no. They'll probably just sit there and laugh and be very respectful the whole time. They'll
get up and get a drink from the bar and then sit down quietly afterwards.
But it was nice to know if the situation arose where we needed him to step in, he could have. We said, listen, this is going to be the easiest job you've ever had. So just sit back, relax, and don't worry about it.
And we hope you enjoy the topic of the Nain Rouge.
Yeah, he was great. So it was a lot of fun. We can't wait to go back. And in the meantime, we will pitch to Tim Robinson this new idea for whatever he wants to do with it. He's a creative genius. So whatever he and his best friend Sam want to do, go for it.
They'll be able to do it. And if you want to see us in Tampa and Orlando, next week we'll be there. We're covering, again, 2 local topics. And one of them we just spoke with a reporter from the Tampa Bay Times who was very thrilled because her husband is a local. And she said, I didn't think anybody knew about this. I wrote this article about it. And we had read her article and we were very stoked about this kind of, again, this weird idiosyncratic topic that just... If we're excited about it, we think the crowds get excited about it. And then, of course, y'all will eventually hear about it once we put it up on the feed. But head to Tampa and you can be part of it. And same with Orlando.
I won't give away what we're doing, but it does involve us going to another psychic we're making up for the mishap in Salem, and we're gonna go to another psychic.
I can't believe that we went to the one psychic that the listener emailed and said, whatever you do, don't go to her. She's a fraud. And that's actually who we went to.
Mm-hmm.
Of course it is. Of course it was.
She had the best looking studio from afar.
Yeah, from afar. And then you get inside and you're like, what fresh hell?
Well, we hope you enjoyed as much as we enjoyed doing it. And if you were from Detroit and you were there, thanks so much. You were a wonderful audience. And if not, we hope to see you at a future show. Hey!
Well.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you. Thank y'all for coming out tonight.
How's everyone doing?
Hello.
Yay!
Oh, it's
such a good-looking crowd.
So good to see y'all. We were nervous the Nain Rouge got us back there.
Nain Rouge was playing with the sound booth, and some say that he is a harbinger of doom, so hopefully this show goes okay.
My problem is, we did the research, you have to appease him, so we did not properly say, bless you, Nain Rouge, thank you, please watch over us. I don't think that's how it works.
He wants flattery.
That's right. You're hot. I seen you on the news.
You look great.
10 out of 10 would do.
Yes.
Is it a guy in a Nain Rouge costume? I don't care. Probably still would do. Would you get red makeup all over yourself? For
Also,
sure.
Yes.
Still would do.
100%. But would there be a pitchfork? Probably so.
Get a little poke in the
That's fun.
tuchus.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. We have been hanging out in your wonderful city today. Just drove over from Canada. We're back in America.
We were in another country this morning.
Wild. Woke up in another country, drove through a tunnel underground. There's a line in the tunnel that's just like, you're here now. You're in America now. So we're back. And first thing, get to the hotel, order Buddy's Pizza.
Yep. We did.
Had to get that Detroit style.
Had several recommendations from you all, so thank you so much. It was very yummy.
Oh, yeah. I had to stop myself at 8 because they close at 8. So we were like, we'll get it after the show. We're like, no, we got to get it before. But I didn't want to be up here like, food coming, falling asleep, so I only ate half of it. So after this, I'm going to get my pizza on. I don't think there's a microwave, so I'm going to go cold. I'm going in cold with Buddy's Pizza.
What else did we do?
We saw the Joe Exotic Stadium where there's
that's what we're calling your stadium.
Your stadium is
so many tigers.
It's
Too
so
many
intimidating.
tigers.
It's
really
so fucking intimidating. How are you supposed to even check your ticket and go in?
I lost count at 17. And then we were like, at some point, too many, you lose the effect. So we were like, there should be like 2 big ones flanking the entrance and then a few tiny ones. But there was like 6 giant ones. In different poses, like pawing at things or vicious. Yeah.
Do you think when they built it, they gave them the option, they go like, okay, listen, we have the budget for one giant one, like a mouth you walk in, Aladdin style, or a bunch all around? And someone was like, a bunch all around. I'm gonna go. It's like, would you rather fight the duck-sized horse or the horse-sized duck? Do you want a stadium-sized tiger or a stadium filled with tigers?
And I always say I would rather fight the
tiny ones.
I would rather fight the big one.
Oh, the one big one.
Yes.
Versus all the small ones.
One-on-one is. I think you're always at an advantage over a bunch of tiny ones.
You think that's a fair fight?
It might not be fair, but I feel like I have a better shot. Are you going tiny?
I think so. I think you could, kind of run through the mix of tiny.
Oh, okay.
I assume we're talking about duck-sized horses, but I don't know.
Or one horse-sized duck.
Yes.
I would rather fight that.
Yeah. That's a lot. It's a big deal.
Also, fight? Nay. Befriend. I would become friends with the giant duck.
This is like you and the crows in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Heather has a crow problem. She texted me the other. She goes, "Come get your friends."
So my
They're
neighborhood,
on my front yard.
It's lousy with crows. They're everywhere.
They are wonderful and very smart and help the environment. So you're welcome.
The crows started when we did the Hannah Crana episode and started talking about how certain times small woodland creatures can be attracted to witches. And apparently, it turns out I don't know, I guess I have the power in me, the Hannah Crana in me.
You do.
I'll tell you what I also have in me is Detroit. My dad was born here in Detroit.
He was.
And grew up 2 miles from here. So if my old man was the son of Detroit, I'm a granddaughter of Detroit. He lived here till he was like, I don't know, 12, 13. You know, your formative years.
Couple miles from here, right?
Oh, yeah. He used to tell stories about hanging out on the steps of Motown when they would record in there. And then he's like, you know, you're a parent, you sort of stories start to get away from you. And he's like, yeah, then we'd go down the train tunnels, we'd throw Molotov cocktails down there. I was like, what's a Molotov what? And he was like, oh no. I have to tell you what that is now. He's like, I'll tell you, but you can never make one. And I was like, no promises. And then we'd just go like, yeah, we would get on the train and go to Canada. And I, as a kid, thought, that's so far. And then today, just one exit, and here we are. So,
yeah,
you're moments away.
It's wild. Yeah, in Texas, you can drive for days and still be in the same state.
Yeah.
So the fact that we were in like 2 different states and a country within an hour and a half yesterday.
It's magical. It's truly magical.
It's wild.
And yeah, we've had such a good time.
We have.
And this
Everyone's
topic,
super nice. This topic is super fun.
such a good topic.
Is Casey Whitaker here? Ah, she suggested this. So thank you, Casey.
Thank you.
Front row, too.
Love it.
Yes. I think you guys are scared of this guy, but we can save it for what do we think? But I'm a fan. I'm just going to go into it with I am a fan of
I already
the
told
name.
you straight up. If you watch that interview with him, he's in the children's book, and I was like, children's book? This is a book for everyone about the life of the Nain Rouge. So
Because
I'm
you
there.
were attracted to him?
Listen, I can't help what I'm into. Okay, he was wearing a suit. He was very debonair.
He's a bad boy.
This is how I get my soul sold to the devil. So I was like, listen.
Voluntary, with consent,
I
you
gave
sell
it
your soul to the devil? Is
100%.
how it happens?
Not even, it just takes a good looking smile and I'm done. So,
Well, we got a lot to talk about. So I'm Christy.
I'm Heather.
And let's get into it, you guys. The Motor City, Motown, the D, hometown of Eminem, Kristen Bell, and Tom Selleck, not to mention Aretha, Madonna, Diana Ross, and ICP.
Scream if you're a juggalo.
Whoop whoop. The cult classic show Detroiters by Tim Robinson and Sam Richardson introduced comedy fans to some of the city's most beloved treasures, like Mort Krim, Verner's, and the London Chop House. Hitsville, USA has cranked out talented people in classic American cars, but it is also home to a red demon with a mean streak who can only be kept at bay with flattery and whose presence often portends misery.
I started rewatching some Detroiters clips today.
So good.
It's a shame
Round
that
of
show.
applause for Detroiters.
Detroiters.
It's one of the best shows to come out in the past decade.
And
It's
Detroit
so good.
truly is like the third cast member on that. It made me want to come here ever since watching that show. And of course, my dad being from here. But man, I have not had Verner's yet, and I gotta get some. Gotta get some. He's like, I gotta get Verner's. My guts are going nuts. I was like, my guts are always going nuts.
I relate to that I can be kept at bay with flattery.
Same.
And sometimes I portend misery. But if you give me a compliment, I'll go away.
That's all it takes. You know me, I have to have my words of affirmation.
A lot, yeah.
So does the Nain Rouge, and that's okay.
According to Legends of Le Detroit,
The Nain Rouge was the demon of the straight, and in the old traditions it is described as a most malignant if offended, but capable of being appeased by flattery.
meaning
Red Dwarf.
in French. And yes, Heather is going to be doing a French accent for about 40% of the show.
My.
Just heads up. And Leanne goes, do you want to pull up some YouTube videos? And Heather said, nope. I'm going in blind, baby.
Going in raw. We're doing it.
The Nain Rouge supposedly migrated to Detroit from Normandy, France, according to Michigan Legends by Cheryl James. The Nain Rouge has also been called the
Demon of the City Straits.
and.
The Harbinger of Doom.
But despite the harsh monikers, this red creature with glowing red eyes and sharp teeth was integral in the life of the city's founder.
I love that the Nain Rouge lived in Normandy, France, and was like, nope, this is not my home. I'm going to find my home, and it's in Detroit. I love it. It was like, I smell that pizza.
Yeah,
Get some burners.
I'm tired of French fries. That was an American thing, though, I think.
Yeah, I think French
Yeah.
fries are straight up.
I am tired of crepes. That is
No more
also,
crepes.
I sound like a German. I'm not going to do it anymore.
I'm ready on deck.
Born in 1661 in the city of Toulouse in southern France, Antoine Cadillac is considered the founder of the city of Detroit. A military man, Cadillac joined the ranks at the young age of 21 and rose up in both Europe and across the pond in modern-day North America. Called
The most efficient and energetic officer
by his commanders, Cadillac was diplomatic and fair. For his dedication and service, he was awarded tracts of land in New France, an area that comprised parts of Canada and much of the Great Lakes region.
We're going to see a remarkable shift when he leaves the service and joins the private sector.
Cadillac is such a baller name,
It's so good. Well, back then it was just Cadillac, and now it's like the Cadillac of names.
Mm-hmm. Were Cadillacs, is he part of that?
No, I think they just used the name because it was here, and he was the founder of the city.
Oh.
Yeah, he
Because the car was made here.
You know, it was 1701. That was a little beyond the horizon that they were looking at.
I think it's, he's not problematic.
Isn't everybody from the 1700s?
Yeah, especially, all men from the 1700s are problematic.
I don't think
that is true.
Nobody gets a free pass.
On March 10th, 1701, Cadillac sat among some French elite in Quebec at a glamorous dentist party. The drinks flowed along with the conversation until one of the hosts was taken aside by a servant. The young porter whispered in the host's ear and elicited a chuckle from the nobleman. Amused, he turned to his guest and announced,
Monsieur's an old French teller, fortune teller, craves to enter. Shall I bid her do so? That turned. It's not French anymore. We're not French.
What are we now?
I don't know. We went off the rails.
YouTube videos were suggested to you earlier, and you said no. So
I'll get it back. We'll get it back.
We're good. It's all right. Here's your other chance. The guests cheered.
Oui, monsieur.
That was better. I'm sorry if anyone in here is French. Not because you're French, because we're bastardizing
Congratulations for
your
being
accent.
French, but sorry in advance.
The guests cheered, oui, monsieur, and prepared for her entrance. Suspicious, one of the guests suggested they all swap places, just in case the psychic had gotten any tips from any of the house staff. With spots swapped, the fortune teller entered. According to legends of Les Detroit.
So strange, so bizarre was her appearance that a murmur of surprise greeted her.
So far, this sounds like any dinner party that we would throw.
It sounds amazing.
Like, okay, but the fortune teller's here, everybody.
Should we let her in? And all of our friends would be like, yes.
Yeah.
No one would say, well, I think a couple of our friends might say, let's swap places just in case, just to test it. Just to test out and see if they've been eavesdropping or if they're like the person in the third seat from the, like.
I feel like you would do that.
Oh, yeah, you gotta, it's like.
You make it difficult for him.
What do you call it? 3-card Monty on the street. You gotta switch them up.
That's also sleight of hand.
Magic.
Well, magic. Yeah.
If I can't do something.
Sorry if you're a magician.
We're making a lot of apologies. If I can't do something, it's magic. So
That's
it's
true.
very magical.
I mean, I can't do 3-card Monty, so it's a magic trick.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's legitimate magic. Do you have a wand?
Is that the baseline? If the Magician's Guild is to come along and say, we're going to decide this is legitimate magic, first we need to see your wand.
I don't know. I don't know what that's an interesting question.
The Magic Castle is in Los Angeles. I just drove by it.
Yeah.
And it's
Just a fact.
It's also, that's where the Magician's Guild is, I think.
Yeah, and you have to have a membership to get in there. Neil Patrick Harris.
He got in?
He's a member.
Well, he showed him his wand.
Horny for magic.
Oh, is he?
Neil Patrick Harris loves magic. Like, it's a known fact, Heather.
His autobiography is called Horny for Magic, the Neil Patrick Harris story.
He's developed like several board games that are all about like riddles and stuff. I have one of them. It's fantastic.
Nothing more magical than growing up a boy doctor.
Yes. Yeah. And then becoming a
so famous
playboy on in the city.
That's right.
And not what the elevator pitch of
How I Met Your Mother is.
How I Met Your Mother.
Playboy in the city.
The guests cheered. Oui, monsieur.
We already said that.
Oh, did we?
Monsieur.
My bad. When prompted for her name, the woman said,
They call me Mère Monique la sorcelère.
in addition to her,
Glittering eyes and strangely fashioned garments.
the guests were all taken with the black cat she had perched on her shoulder. As she read palm after palm, the cat remained planted beside the woman's face. Any time the sorcerers would pause in her reading, the cat would lean over and lick her ear. Then she would continue. According to Legends of Lady Detroit,
The more superstitious guests thought it was the devil giving her information.
we have neglected to introduce our son that a listener gave us. Was it in Cleveland?
Columbus
The very
was the
first
first
night of the tour. This is Baby. And Baby is a baby Mothman. And he was given to us, and now he travels with us. He's sitting up by a giant...
It's a binder clip.
It's a binder clip. Yeah, but he's getting better at holding his head up on his own. So pretty soon he'll be doing it by
He's
himself.
right on track for his
He's
development.
now our little tour mascot.
He's our baby.
He's very sweet.
This was not a baby Mothman on this woman's shoulder, but I love the baller move of just walking. First of all, you knock on a door and you're like, you guys need a fortune teller? And second of all, you're like, this cat's coming in with me, by the way, and it sits right here. So it's non-negotiable. You want me to read your fortune? Package deal.
It's a 2-for-1. I'm not coming in unless my cat can come in. If you're allergic, sorry.
Tough luck. Also,
Survival
cat
of the
licking,
fittest.
The licking of a cat is so sandpaper in the ear.
And loud.
Oh, it's so loud. It had to have been given her. It's whispering. There's
Yeah.
no way. Because if the cat's licking you in the ear, you're just like, not today.
Unless that's your thing. Like that documentary we saw last night. Do you remember the woman and her dog?
Oh, God.
What were we watching?
Well, we were watching YouTube, which you could just get anything on YouTube. Let me tell you what. If you hadn't done that. And we were watching
Was it All Breaks No Gas or Channel
All Gas
5
No Breaks
News?
or Channel 5. One of those where they go around and interview folks. And this lady was talking about that she was a tantric orgasm expert, but she had a poodle with her, and then she just would go, I just had an orgasm just now. And I was like, we've all done that, lady. We all try to pull that.
Okay, yeah, we've all had an orgasm
Where
right
you go,
now.
Anyway, that was just FYI, that was an orgasm. But she had a tiny dog with her, and then she was like, I love that the dog is also my orgasm pal. And we were like, no, let that dog go.
I shouldn't have. None of these
go.
words should ever be said.
Nah.
Together.
Not all together. Absolutely not. Well, that dog was licking her in the mouth. But
Yeah.
he looked like an angel and not a
The
dog.
dog also had a 1,000-yard stare.
It
It
was
was like,
just like-
get me fucking out of here.
Hello,
and no one
darkness.
could.
Sinisterhood will be right back. Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp.
We've been out on the road a lot, and it takes a toll on us mentally, physically, emotionally. So I know we've both been having to really be mindful of taking care of our mental health and take breaks and do things that kind of rejuvenate our mind and body and spirit. And one of those is for sure therapy.
Absolutely. And keeping in contact with my therapist has been easy because it's all, I can message back and forth even when I'm on the road.
How well would you take care of your car if you had to keep the same one your entire life? That's how our brains work. So why don't we treat them that way?
How we care for our minds affects how we experience life, so it's important to invest time and care into keeping them healthy.
There are plenty of ways to support a healthy brain, like learning a new language or taking power naps. There's also BetterHelp online therapy.
I do love a good power nap, but I'll tell you what, a power nap doesn't talk back as much as my BetterHelp therapist does. So I can have bizarre dreams and then talk to her about it, and I can do it from in my studio here at home, on video chat, on the phone, on text chat, or on the road.
Awesome.
BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat-only therapy sessions, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to.
It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours.
Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/sinister.
That's betterhelp.com/sinister. There's nothing better than watching your child's imagination take flight as they discover the wonders of the world. You might even discover a thing or two yourself. Fuel their curiosity and deepen their connection to the world through fun, hands-on activities with Little Passports.
Little Passports offers globally inspired, award-winning kits filled with hands-on activities, games, and stories, all designed to spark curiosity and imagination among young adventurers and scientists.
Each month, Little Passports will send a kit packaged with play-based activities, interactive crafts, puzzles, games, and stories to help kids have fun while they learn about the world around them. I can't tell you what a hit this has been in the house. Oh my goodness. There's a little suitcase you can keep all her little things in. There's so many cute puzzles and games. We made a clay volcano and then decorated it with stuff that looks like grass. And then the elements that you put together to make it erupt came with it. And so we got to, and it's reusable. So it's so much cool science stuff, math, just like fun. It's all, they don't realize they're learning. That's the thing. No, they don't realize they're learning. They're just having fun. And then they're like, wait a second, I learned something. It's great. I highly recommend it.
It has Ella's name written all over it. For a little adventurer and explorer, that's her to a T. Whether it's building a solar-powered robot, creating a Spanish mosaic, or playing with animal friends in the Serengeti, kids ages 3 to 10 will love learning with Little Passports.
Each kit contains activities that are perfect for their age and matched to their interests.
And Little Passports makes the perfect gift for parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, godparents, and educators.
Choose from month-to-month, 6-month, or 12-month subscriptions, whichever is right for you, and you can stop anytime.
Share the world with your little explorers. With Little Passports, there's always something new to discover.
For listeners of the show, Little Passports is offering new customers 20% off when you go to littlepassports.com/creepy.
That's 20% off when you go to littlepassports.com/creepy, littlepassports.com/creepy.
Whether it was the devil feeding her information or just a cat, it was effective. Guests let out
Whisperings of amazement, as at times her knowledge seemed almost supernatural.
when she approached the
Bold and energetic.
Monsieur Cadillac. He challenged the old witch.
Ma
Rude.
bonne mère, see what you can tell me for the future. I cannot for the past. He's starting to get bold.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is step one of his boldness.
You know, the first person you don't get bold with, somebody you're calling an old witch.
It's not nice.
That has a cat just perched on her shoulder. You know how hard it is to get a cat to
Do
just
anything.
sit still somewhere, and then somehow she's got it on her shoulder.
I know, it's hard to train
Its
a
claws
cat.
are digging in, and she's not even phased.
No, she just lets it happen. Do you think she's got one of those leather gloves like a falconer?
I
She's
hope.
like, we have to put this blindfold on the cat or it's going to come after you. It's going to attack.
I didn't know that was real until Secret Life of Pets.
What, the falcons were real?
I knew falcons were real. I did not know they had to put things over their eyes or they'll just constantly try to hunt.
Oh, yeah, that's why. Whenever we went to medieval times, the most recent time, I had gone in like June, and then my family wanted to go again like a month later. I was like, this is so many times to go to medieval times within first of all, a calendar
much
year.
changes?
No, it was the same show. So I kind of knew. I was like, I have a break, and I got up to go to the restroom, and when I came back, they were like, ladies and gentlemen, stay seated. The falcon is loose. And I was like, do I wait up high where the falcon flies, or I take off running, but my head could be mistaken for a bird nest
or a
like
squirrel.
a squirrel or something? I dug my head down, took off running, and I just saw, there's a guy, I don't know if you guys have medieval times or if you've been to one, there's a queen, and then she has kind of like the squire but we were close enough that he saw me, and he was just like, no, he saw me and just judged
So
me.
disappointed.
Like, a man who wears velvet robes for a living was just like, you idiot.
Do y'all have medieval times?
Nobody has medieval
All
times,
right.
dinner
Get
and
ready to have
tournament.
your fucking mind blown with what this business model is. It's just a big ass castle on the side of the highway that everybody pays a lot of money to go watch knights fight on real life horses in a big arena while you sit around with turkey legs and mead and
Diet Pepsi.
They also have vegetarian meals because it's very of the times.
Except for my husband. He's like, just so you know, corn is a new world thing. It's not, they would never have corn on the cob in medieval times. I was like, they also don't have Diet Pepsi.
Yeah.
And they don't
Also, this would have been a fight to the death, and we're all just agreeing that, like, the Blue Knight won.
they'll be like, do you think that we should kill him? And everyone is bloodthirsty.
Yeah, they want to see it. They want to see it happen.
Yeah.
But there's a queen. These are all actors. I'm doing a lot of air quotes tonight. That sits up in a thing.
A perch.
Well, it's like
throne.
a castle, a throne. And then the knights are fighting on her behalf. But each section of the arena, you have a knight that you're cheering for. You're in like that knight section. But I think it's predetermined who wins, so it's all fucking lies.
Gosh.
Yes, I think it's predetermined. They gotta know, because it's all staged.
Something else I thought was magical. Turns out.
And anytime you drive by, no matter what time of day or night, there are people parked in the employee lot.
They don't let them go home.
I don't know what's going on up there.
When you go back to those times, you don't want to come back out. You just want to stay in there.
It's their method acting. Like, we can't leave. There's also a museum.
She's got the fingers out.
That's like old-timey torture devices.
Yeah.
That's real messed up.
Yeah.
Also, they have the horses just like in stalls, and you can see them before you go back. And it's burned in my brain that I saw it.
Like you just saw a horse?
No, I saw its thing.
Oh, a big old dig?
I had never seen one before.
You never saw a horse being this
When
before?
would I have?
I don't know. Well, my town's the home of the championship rodeo. That's on me.
Never within like 5 feet. I was shook.
Oh, yeah.
It was so much bigger than I anticipated.
I saw a Budweiser Clydesdale penis at the state fair, and it was
shocking. It's shocking.
It was
I mean, we're
life-changing,
talking
yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
It's like 2 feet long.
Yeah, there was a person in there scooping food, and they were like, "Yeah, right." And I was like, "They work there every day, and they're still amazed."
Yeah,
so like,
it is.
Takes my breath
it's
away.
impressive.
Anyway, here's more.
I don't know.
Anyway, enough
And
about
then
horse penises.
That's what medieval times is.
Yeah,
yeah.
you know.
And then there's a gift shop, and you get little paper crowns you can wear.
I was impressed. They sell like actual swords there.
They shouldn't.
They do.
Yeah, I guess they still.
They do.
Yeah, and then people bring them back. It's, there's like a big crossover of like medieval times, Ren Fair,
Oh, sure.
all of that thing. So they like to dress up and go in character.
There are regulars at medieval times. I asked one of the knights.
If they're,
I said, "Do you have like regulars?" And they go, "Oh yeah, there are people that come back a lot, a lot of times,
like
they
twice
always,
in a calendar year come back. And you're like, wait a minute.
They always want photos." I said, "I bet they do."
Well, go if you're ever in Dallas. I'm sure they have them other places.
Tampa, Florida. There's a couple of them. Kissimmee.
All in Florida. You just think
They're all
three
covered in
Florida. They're all in
Florida.
Florida. Go to Florida
Anyway,
or
this is
Texas.
brought to you by Medieval
You'll get
Times.
there one way or the other. Well, rather than simply read Cadillac's palm, the old witch reached into her cloak for a vial and a basin. She poured a liquid thick as quicksilver into the container and performed leconomancy, a method of divination using a basin of liquid. Holding Cadillac's hand, she told him,
Sir, yours is a strange destiny, a dangerous journey you will soon undertake. You will found a great city, which one day will have more inhabitants than New France now possesses.
The fortune teller then cringed and paused her reading. Cadillac, brave in the face of danger, insisted that she continue.
You never want somebody to look in your future and go, "Ooh,
Fuck!
shit! Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, reading's over."
And he said, no, I want to know what happens. So she told him,
Mon chevalier, I wish you had not commanded me to go on, for dark clouds are rising, and I see dimly your star. Beware of undue ambition, it will mar all your plans. Appease the Nain Rouge, beware of offending him.
should Cadillac fail to appease the demon of the strait, the witch warned that his children would inherit nothing, and his name would soon be forgotten. He laughed off her reading and later shared the incident with his wife, except the missus did not find her husband's story amusing. Instead, she was terrified that the fortune teller's prophecy would come true.
This man comes home and is like, "Oh, the woman said my life would ruin." And she's like, "Why are you laughing?
We have children, Cadillac.
Do you, Antoine, do you want him to inherit anything, or do you want him to grow up penniless?"
Monster.
Laughed in her face.
3 months later, Cadillac had established a settlement that was the makings of modern-day Detroit. Families moved in, and soon the whole town grew and grew. Each May, neighbors gathered together to celebrate the city around the maypole.
I went to Germany a few years back and they had a maypole, and what a fun. It was just a quaint way to entertain yourself in the 1700s.
The only maypole I can think of is on Midsummer, and I wouldn't call it quaint. It had a different ending.
Nope, not a fun
for
maypole.
them. But I think back then, what do you just grab a ribbon and run around?
Yeah, it's like tetherball with no ball.
I hated tetherball. I was so bad at it, and my friend Beth was so good, and she would just smack it, and then you could never smack it again, and she would just keep smacking it around.
It's a tall
You're
kid
standing
sport.
there with your thumb up your ass. Like, why did that come?
And
so
Beth's
you
like,
could show off and flex?
Who's next?
She was good at every sport. She was one of those. Now she coaches, I think, a women's basketball team, so
Well,
it all worked out for her.
it did work out.
By May of 1707, Cadillac had all but forgotten the prophecy, but his wife had not. As they were headed home after a night of revelry, they overheard two people talking. While they only caught a snippet, what Mrs. Cadillac heard was plenty.
Things cannot run very long thus.
One passing neighbor said to another, referring to the prosperous merrymaking.
My wife saw a few days ago Le Petit Nain Rouge and...
Before Mrs. Cadillac could hear the rest, the pair was long past them. She grabbed a hold of her husband and asked,
Did you not hear? Le Petit Nain Rouge is the dreaded Nain Rouge.
He replied, laughing.
Oh, what of that?
She had to remind him that an appearance of the Nain Rouge meant misfortune. Her husband scoffed.
Bah! Have you not forgotten that nonsense of a silly old fortune teller? Let us return home.
What have we learned? Even in the 1700s to whatever year we're in, men are the same. Won't listen. They're like, oh, I got what silly old fortune teller. I will not listen to you, wife.
And not only did he just go,
I love my husband. He is here.
and he's great. He listens great. He listens to the show.
He does
produces
listen to the show
He also
because he
produces-
edits it, and so he has to listen to it. But he also listens of his own accord.
But no, this wasn't even just. I'm sorry. What did you say? I wasn't listening. It's like straight up.
It's like,
You
shut
fool,
up, idiot.
You foolish woman. Mm-hmm. Well.
His skepticism was short-lived. Before they could get home, a creature crossed their path. Legends of Lay Detroit described it as
The uncouth figure of a dwarf, very red in the face, with bright glistening eyes and a grinning mouth, displaying sharp pointed teeth to complete the strange face.
Mrs. Cadillac recognized the creature at once and gasped in horror. Her husband had a different reaction. He held the cane he had in his hand high above his head, saying,
Get out of my way, you red imp.
and struck the ghoulish creature on the head. That's one way to handle this.
You've been warned. You've been told. Be nice. You just have to go, hey, what a good looking smile you have. Mm-hmm. Or
You can find one nice thing to say about him.
we can find one nice thing to say about anybody. Mm-hmm. And all you had to do was say one nice thing. You could have even tipped your hat, maybe.
Good day, demon.
Instead, you clubbed him on his head.
And he didn't even do anything yet.
No, he
just
popped
appeared.
out.
He just said, hey.
He was like, I'm trying to cross the road. And he's like, bop. Like a fucking whack-a-mole in the streets.
The Nain Rouge did not fight back right away. Instead, it let out
A fiendish, mocking laugh.
and vanished. Cadillac's wife chastised her husband.
You have offended him. Your impetuosity will bring you and yours to ruin. Misfortune will soon be our position.
She was right. Shortly afterward, on a visit to Montreal, Cadillac was arrested in connection with political crimes and forced to sell his share in the newly formed Detroit to pay for his trial expenses. Just as the fortune teller warned, his children never inherited any of his once vast estate.
Fucked around.
And found out.
Done and done.
Didn't listen to his wife. Now your kids have nothing.
You invite an expert. This fortune teller was clearly an expert.
She knew what she was talking
At
about.
the very least, she could train a cat to sit on her shoulder, and that's worth something.
That's very impressive. Yeah.
At a bare minimum.
That's worth her getting in the home for a cheese log or whatever they have at parties back then.
If somebody in a cloak and glistening eyes knocks on your door with a cat on their shoulders, madame. I'm letting him in a second. But you had all those years to learn the error of your ways.
No.
But instead you hit him in the face.
Yeah. You couldn't swallow your pride. Now your kids are poor.
Well, maybe. We don't know. I don't know. It was 1700s. Yeah, they probably...
Yeah.
They would have inherited something, but...
According to legends of Lay Detroit, the Red Demon's appearance was a sure sign of impending evil. M Live reports the Nain Rouge has been spotted throughout various awful events in Detroit's history. In 1763, visions of the Nain Rouge appeared along the shore before the Battle of Bloody Run. Then in 1805, when the city was destroyed by fire, residents reported seeing
his malicious face as he darted through the burning buildings.
According to legends of Lay Detroit. In 1884, a woman claimed to have been attacked by Nain and said the small devil looked like
a baboon with a horned head, brilliant restless eyes, and a devilish leer on its face. Well, I saw that devilish leer on the news.
We can all agree that she fucked it.
She
like
was like,
willingly.
Listen, it had horns, but it had brilliant, restless eyes.
Brilliant, restless eyes? Would you ever describe something you're afraid of with brilliant?
No, I think, like the woman in the cloak with the cat, if you get somebody knock on your door and it's the Nain Rouge, I'm gonna let him in. You see what he's about. See what he has to say. See what he's offering. And if you look into those brilliant, restless eyes, you can't say no to a devilish leer.
2 utility workers claim to have spotted the Nain during a snowstorm in March of 1976. While out checking power lines, the workers saw what they thought was a small child clambering up a utility pole. Concerned, the workers called out. When they tried to approach what they thought was a child in need, a small creature suddenly jumped from the pole and scurried away. The ice storm that followed was one of the most devastating in Michigan's history.
That's scary enough to think a kid is on an electric pole.
Which one's scarier? You think a kid's climbing up an electrical pole in the middle of a snowstorm, or it's the Nain Rouge?
I'm going to go Nain Rouge because the kid hopefully would listen to reason. The Nain Rouge, you got to think of several compliments to get him to come back down.
Have you worked with toddlers?
No,
it's the
not
same.
enough.
The Nain Rouge and a toddler are not that far apart from each other.
You have to
There's a lot
appease
of
them.
coaxing to get them off that pole.
You have to appease them with flattery.
A lot of promises of treats and various candies and outings, and yes. When the Presque Isle Mill was
blasted by lightning,
the Detroit Free Press reported that watchful citizens saw the Nain Rouge on the building's roof,
screaming with laughter.
Later, however, they saw the little devil
inside, trying to patch the ruins up in the machinery.
So he was helping. He felt bad. We've all done things that we're like, oh, that was shitty of me. I'm going to go fix this.
I'll help him clean it up. Yeah, or they mocked him. He had it struck by lightning, and then they appeased him afterwards. And maybe that's part of the deal, is that he'll turn on you, but in a good way afterwards.
He's like, here's what's going to happen. What do you want to do about it?
You have 2 choices at the end.
In an effort to keep the red little devil at bay, each spring, the Marche du Nain Rouge takes place in the Cass Corridor neighborhood annually. Co-founder of the parade, Francis Runo, summed up the vibe of the event to Atlas Obscura, calling it
kind of a mashup of Halloween, Burning Man, and Mardi Gras.
Which is the dopest sounding party anyone's ever thrown.
So elements of Halloween would be costumes. Elements of
Masks.
Burning Man, masks.
They
costumes.
burn the effigy of Nain Rouge.
And Mardi Gras, are we...
Floats, there's lots of floats.
Okay, I was going to say getting beads. Like, we flashing the Nain Rouge? That's
Who's
flattery.
been to the parade? You guys go to the Nain Rouge parade?
Give us a woo-woo if you've been. Woo, all right, we got some Nain Rouge.
Okay.
Nain Rougers.
Woo-woo if you had to flash for beads. That doesn't happen? Okay. Well,
so maybe
there's always next year.
We got to bake a king cake, but inside, instead of a tiny baby, it's a tiny
It's a little tiny baby Nain
devil.
Rouge. The march was skipped in 2020 and 2021 due to COVID-19, but it was back in full effect this year. Beginning at Canfield and 2nd Avenue, thousands of Detroiters don masks, costumes, and ride atop their impressive and elaborate decorated floats. Soon, a devilish figure, complete with red skin, claws, fangs for teeth, and pointy ears, emerges in the crowd. Dressed in tattered black leather clothing, the Nain makes his grand entrance atop a mechanical chariot shaped like a giant cockroach. When asked why the Nain chooses this mode of transportation, Runo told the Detroit Metro Times,
Because he's a badass?
Duh. This contraption someone has built is very big. It is a full-size car that looks like a cockroach, so it is my worst nightmare. Just driving down with a devil atop it. But one year it was a dragon. I think it changes.
Oh, that's great. I was going to say, is it like the skate shoe in Mesquite? There's a car in my hometown that's like a giant skate that they drive around. It's a roller skate car. And they also just drive it around.
Who's they?
The owners of the skate rink and the skate car.
Oh, it's a skating rink promotional car.
Yes. So you know, it used to be a high top skate.
Buried the lead on that one.
They cut down the skate. Instead of a high top, became a low top when those got hip in the late 90s and everybody lost their fucking minds. That they cut the skate shoe down. But I wonder with the Nain Rouge, if someone rolling around in the cockroach car, you got to.
Yeah. When they cut it down, did they have to alter where the person that was driving it sat?
Well, I think it basically went from a tank situation where you had to climb down the top of the ankle part of the shoe, of the skate. Now it's just a convertible.
How have I never seen this?
Oh, it's Westlake Skate Center, baby. It's where all the cool kids.
Tommy's never told me about this.
I can't believe Tommy has been to Westlake Skate Center.
Oh, I'm sure he has, 100%. I'm sure
I was not a cool kid, and I still got invited to some birthday
was
parties.
It the cool place?
It was a really cool place. If you had your birthday at Westlake, like, fuck off. That is so fancy. You were
Mine
like, what?
was where I grew up in Fort Worth. It was Silver Wheels.
Silver Wheels?
That was the name of the skating rink. It was silver. It's
Silver
like
Wheels.
the rural juror of the skating industry. And if you had your birthday party there, yeah, it was.
You can't do an ad on TV for Silver Wheels.
Silver Wheels.
No,
Come to Silver Wheels.
Come on down to Silver Wheels.
I wonder if that's still there. When you would walk in, there was a big wall. It was carpeted, and it had that skate rink smell. We all know what that smells like. Oh,
yeah.
Takes you back.
Damn.
We did not have a giant shoe that drove around, though.
You gotta get a big old skate car. Nain Rouge gotta get a skate car.
Descending from his chariot, the Nain addresses the crowd of the thousands gathered.
I am the legendary Nain Rouge of Detroit,
The harbinger of doom, the living embodiment of everything that holds Detroit back. The red prince of persecution, Cadillac's folly, and the annihilator of hope.
As the crowd begins to boo, the Nain Rouge boldly declares,
I'm going to tear this city apart!
Well, is Kiss from here? I think that's also what Gene Simmons yells when he is on stage. He is a character.
You gotta play
And I appreciate that he knows what he wants. He has a clear role and a clear mission.
The harbinger of doom. I have to wonder if there are auditions for this gig or if it's on a volunteer basis.
Well, the articles I read said that the city does not, no one knows who plays the Nain Rouge.
It's anonymous.
So it could be multiple people. Maybe it's one person each year.
It's like a school mascot is what I was thinking, that they have to have
you
auditions.
audition for.
Yeah, you got to have auditions. They have to be able to do the wave, the mascot wave. So we need to know that the Nain Rouge can jump up out the cockroach
Or
car.
is it like a Santa situation and you just apply and maybe there's multiples that they call upon?
Who's free, who's available.
Are you trying to get this job?
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like technically, yes, my passport technically does say I was born in Texas, but I feel like I should be able to apply for dual Detroit citizenship because my dad is from here.
Okay. Yes, because you're one generation separated.
I feel like it's in my bones.
There you go. Refusing to allow the Nain to make good on his sinister promise, the crowd marches him through the Midtown neighborhood before finally banishing him, as always, on the steps of the Masonic Temple. For those who want to participate next year, the March website encourages participants to
bring a marching band, wear a costume, build a human-powered float, put on a mask, cover your body in glitter, whatever it takes. It's a nice long list.
Anything goes is, I think, maybe also their motto. It seems by the pictures like a very fun time.
It looks so fun.
It really is like Mardi Gras combined with just like Halloween. Like everyone's dressed in costumes, dressing up and stuff.
I love costumes. I love a parade, as long as I am not trying to get to the other side of whatever's going on in the parade. Then all of a sudden I'm like, fuck parades forever. I'm just trying to get to Michael's.
She'll turn real quick on a parade. Yeah. When you decided to venture to Michael's on St. Patrick's Day.
That was on me.
When our city has a very large parade that shuts down the street that Heather knew Michael's was on.
It's in the name of the parade, so that's on me. It wasn't a shock where the parade was going.
It's called the Greenville St. Patrick's Day Parade, and the street that Michael's is on is Greenville. So
that's on me. That's my bad. That's on me. But researching this, my only regret was that we are here today and not in March.
I know.
We could have gone to the March.
I know.
But we're here on the blood moon. This is a red moon night on Nain Rouge night. I feel like
and we were like, I think you might have caused this.
He's coming. The blood.
Oh.
The blood moon is I'm sure that's just like it's bat signal for the Nain Rouge. You can't have a red moon and a red devil and he doesn't just come out and see it.
No, yeah. No, he's here. But when you said he's coming, I thought you meant like it's an indicator to all of us that he is horned up and he will be arriving this evening to take a bride. I don't know what he does, leprechaun style. There's no telling.
If you sneeze 3 times, that Nain Rouge is gonna get you.
I don't know what. Do y'all call it? We call it D-Town. Is that a thing here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I was gonna say maybe the D stands for Dick instead of Detroit. It's the demon Dick. Well, not everyone, however, thinks the Nain is a bad guy. Over the years, Nain enthusiasts have banded together to try and spread a different message about the Detroit-based devil. Self-described
anomalistic researcher
John E.L. Tenney started the group We Are Nain Rouge to help bring awareness to what he believes is a positive legend for the city. The group's website describes them as
a small but vocal and active group who seek to inform the community about our city's ancient protector. Like the Nain Rouge, we are here to provide understanding and guidance in order to build a better community.
So there's 2 camps.
2 camps.
There's one that he is the harbinger of doom. He only appears when bad things are going to happen. And then there's this camp, a smaller camp, but still a camp, that says, nay, he is letting us know the bad, like Mothman style.
Yes, people are afraid of the Mothman, but they shouldn't when they see them thunderous cheeks. But also Mothman is saying, hey, heads up, some bad things are about to happen. Change your ways. Maybe the flattery is just, he doesn't really, there's a loss in translation. Maybe they just meant, please thank me, by the way. I just saved you. Put your machinery back together after lightning fucked you up. I wasn't laughing. I was like, your lightning is coming. And they thought he was laughing. He's just misunderstood. I think that's what it is.
And I believe that is what Tenney and his group also believes. The passionate group spreads their message at the annual festival, holding handmade signs that say things like,
be nice to Nain, stop Nain shame, don't dread the red, and support your local creatures. I like that they have an annual festival as well. We have
they're at the march. But they protest the march.
You're your own faction at the Nain March.
Yeah, like most things. We keep talking about how we went to Justin Bieber the other night and there were protesters outside. Like, you can't have anything without someone showing up.
Yeah, somebody will show up. Those protesters
keeps
hated
us on our toes.
So many pamphlets outside the Justin Bieber concert. My favorite one is, it was a pamphlet, when you go to a concert and there are people that are like, you're all going to burn in hell because you like Justin Bieber. They did not go inside the concert because Justin Bieber gave us a lot of Bible verses, which I was not expecting, but that's what nowadays you get a little bit of peaches out in Georgia, that's my shit, and John 3:16 in the same show. I was like,
he married them nicely.
God made peaches and weed and bad bitches, so it all made sense. Then we get outside and there are protesters, and then we got a pamphlet And on the pamphlet, it said, hell is not a place for people, just for people like Charles Manson, Adolf Hitler, bank robbers, and murderers. And every day since that day, I have been trying to figure out what order that's in. Because it's not alphabetical. It's not linear. It's not like time-wise. It's not who's the worst, because we think Hitler would have been first.
I mean, yeah.
And also bank robbers versus murderers. I can't stop thinking about it.
And it went from very specific to very vague.
Yes. Bank robbers.
Several
murderers.
people were writing this pamphlet, and no one could agree on who got final say. And it was like we marry our notes together. Sounds seamless. They had two very different styles.
No, they were like, we're leaving Manson on the list, and we're putting him first. Okay.
Well, I want to talk about bank robbers.
You know what? People rob banks, and they're going right to hell. It's like,
that person has been writing that pamphlet since the 20s, when that was like I guess people still rob banks, but you don't hear about it like you did back then.
You can't rob banks because they don't have money in them anymore.
That's true. Yeah, money is all. They don't really hold a lot of money there. Money's just in the cloud.
It's all a computer now.
It's all
Everything
up there.
you need is a computer now. Your phone is it.
Mm-hmm. Where did we go yesterday? And they were like, we tried to order something. They go, we don't have people anymore. You got to do this on an iPad.
I went to Sprinkles Cupcakes recently.
I think that's what it was. Cupcakes.
iPads, which is great. It's fine. I don't need to tell somebody I want a cupcake.
But that's what I'm saying.
Tell the computer.
They're eliminating our jobs.
God, there were still very nice people that brought us cupcakes, and then when a kid barfed, helped with that. So guess what an iPad can't do? Have empathy for a mom on Mother's Day whose kid erped all over the Sprinkles cupcake. Had to clear out the lobby. She was horrified. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. Some of us.
Heather tried to prevent a stranger from walking in. The stranger did not believe her that the kid had thrown up. Wanted to see it for herself.
Like, if you want to go slip in like Mario Kart banana peel on some kid's barf, on you, not on me. Fine. I'm just an idiot standing here outside while they're mopping the Sprinkles cupcakes. But go ahead. I'm not bitter or anything. It's fine.
Sinisterhood will be right back.
Well, we're on the road, and you're waving your toesies at me. We got the same nail polish on right now. We have Hibiscus from Olive and June. It's one of my favorite colors. Ella loves it. It's such a great summer color.
I've gotten 2 different compliments, 2 different places, 2 different cities of like, I love your nail color. I'm like, thank you. It's Olive and June.
Mm-hmm.
In case you need a refresher, here's why Olive and June is freaking amazing. With the Olive and June mani system, you can treat yourself to beautiful nails all year long.
Olive and June nail polishes last 7+ days and do not chip. Their mani system is the ultimate secret behind salon perfect nails at home. All in one, no guessing, no messy nails, no salon price tag.
And we love how the mani system comes with everything you need to do it yourself. You don't have to go, dagnabbit, I got to go to the store and pick up this. I forgot a file, whatever. It's all there. It's all kept in a bag, which for me, it's very important. I lose things, so I love to be organized. And we got the poppy.
Oh, the poppy. And the bag you can just throw in. I've been throwing it in my suitcase. I got everything to go on the road with me. Also, the petty system. Game changer. It comes with that file. You can get your heels all nice and smooth. Little toe separators. It's so easy to do it all at home.
I suggest getting the Olive and June mani system with 6 polishes. It breaks down to just $2 a mani. I used to spend $35 for one gel manicure.
Getting beautiful salon perfect nails at home is now a dream come true with Olive and June.
Your new nail life is here. Visit oliveandjune.com/sinister for 20% off your first mani system.
That's oliveandjune.com/sinister for 20% off your first mani system. How are you feeling? You feeling satisfied? You need more? What do you need in your life right now?
What you look at me in the face when we're doing anything and I'm like, down the hatch, let's do this. All in. Take it. I said, if your life's in 3rd gear, go all the way up to 5th, 6th even if you got it. I'm like, more every time. More is always better.
Mm-hmm.
Why be content with having enough when you can have more? You know what? Best Fiends satisfies your need for more. More puzzles, more me time, and more fun. We love Best Fiends. Both of us, we've been fiending on the road, fiending at home. Doesn't matter where we're at.
You don't need Wi-Fi and fiend on a plane.
That's right.
Fiend anywhere. Sky, ground, I don't know.
Movie
space.
idea.
Fiends on a Plane.
Fiends
in
on a
Space.
Plane, another good. Fiends in Space, also good. Spinoff after we do Fiends on a Plane. Once you download Best Fiends, you can play anywhere, even without an internet connection, which is great if you're stuck without Wi-Fi. Collect tons of fiends that get powered up as you play more levels. Every win brings new challenges, thousands of puzzles to play. New in-game events are added all the time.
I'm up in the 300s now. Well, 400s. I don't even.
You got to be
about-
over. Yeah, you're because I was around like 450, and I think you're catching up on me.
Well, when I got my new phone, I was very high in Best Fiends, and then I didn't sign back in the right way, so I started at the bottom. I didn't care though, because you know what? It's fun no matter what.
It's so much fun.
I love the side games, so I don't even pay attention to what level I'm at because I just fiend. I'm like, next one, open the box, open the crate.
Those treasure chests. Ella loves to open little treasure chests, see what little prize we've got.
With thousands of levels, there's always more to play. So go ahead and let enough is never enough be your mantra. Download Best Fiends for free from the App Store or Google Play.
Plus, earn even more with $5 worth of in-game rewards when you reach level 5. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends. Tenny and others feel that the legend of the Nain has been rewritten over the years to paint the devil in a negative light. The group is adamant, according to their website, that
Nain is not the cause of unhappiness, but the ancient warning sign that distress may be ahead of us.
they conclude
Nain does not do bad things and is not a force evil.
And I put, and for her, yes, that is how it is written. Because we normally say an evil force.
A force of evil.
Or a force of evil. Some word was left out, or maybe force evil is a new thing that we don't know about.
Like Jedis.
It's a Detroit thing. We don't get it. Tenny, who unsuccessfully ran for mayor of Detroit in 2001, worked as a researcher in the 90s for the TV show Unsolved Mysteries. It was during this time he developed a love for the Nain Rouge and wanted to change the narrative of the misunderstood creature. Now when he protests at the march, he sports a trench coat to honor the late, great Robert Stack.
Wow.
Yeah, he does. And in all of his pictures, he's wearing it.
Oh, you find your thing and you go with it.
You know what? If I had the privilege of writing and researching for Unsolved Mysteries, I would wear a trench coat every day of my life. If I had gotten to share the same air with Robert Stack.
Truly an honor. Just the ferocity that you said, if I had the honor and privilege. I thought
Robert Stack is a legend.
he is a legend. That show still holds up to this day.
Tenny agrees that an event celebrating the Nain Rouge is important for the city, but believes it should be one that honors the Nain in a positive light. He told the Detroit Metro Times,
The fact is, we have an ancient helper. You can tell people, let's be like this ancient helper. Let's watch out for each other. Let's make sure nothing bad happens to our city. And when something bad is happening, we'll tell each other.
Co-founder of the march, Francis Gunroe, disagrees, telling the DMT,
If we had a celebration of the Nain Rouge as being a good character, it would be a whole different thing. It wouldn't be catharsis in the same way.
Renau also feels like the Nain wouldn't appreciate the well wishes, telling Atlas Obscura that the Nain
It doesn't want to deal with all the positivity. He's just disgusted by it.
he has a vision and he does not appreciate anybody trying to say otherwise.
This is such an epic battle.
This is like Lincoln and Douglas. These guys going back and forth.
You gotta get him
Who's gonna win? I don't know.
podiums and have them they gotta work it out because they've got two different camps.
You need an event. I'm gonna coin the phrase right now. It's the debate of Detroit, and it's these two men on the steps of your city hall, and it's just which way are we gonna go from now on? Do we like him or do we hate him?
That's right.
You got to pick a side. I'm sorry. Families are going to be broken, and I'm sorry for everyone that lives here. But you have to choose a side.
I just really love, he is disgusted
By it. I get that because I also don't want to deal with positivity a lot of the time. If I am in, like, if you're in a bad mood and somebody's like, well, look on the bright side, you're like, fuck off, Karen. I don't want to look on the bright side right now. Let me be mad. I want to be pissed off. I am disgusted by your positivity.
There was a whole thing on NPR about how it's not helpful. Like, it's because it makes you feel like you're not being listened to. So if
It's patronizing.
well, for sure.
If NPR says it, it has to be true.
It was an expert. Absolutely.
They only have experts on there.
They vet them real good. And yeah, so I think if you're the Nain Rouge and, you're out there going, listen, I'm warning y'all. And then people are like, oh my gosh, it'll be okay.
Why don't
He'd be
you
like,
just turn that frown upside down? Bitch, there goes your house, and your children get nothing.
You want lightning to strike you? Strike me with a cane.
Tell me to smile again. Dave Krieger wrote a book starring the Nain Rouge called Things I Do in Detroit, a guidebook to the coolest places by the Nain Rouge, highlighting all the wonderful things the city has to offer. Rather than a malevolent creature, Krieger, much like Tinney, was determined to change the narrative surrounding the Nain. His goal has been to turn the Nain Rouge into the most interesting man in Detroit, telling WXYZ News.
He's like the Forrest Gump of Detroit. He's been through every main lifestyle moment the city has had since it was founded, from when it was ruled by the French to when Cadillac was here, when the British were here. He drove Henry Ford's first car, just those kind of things.
Did he, though? That can't be fact-checked, it could probably be fact-checked.
Well, the Nain Rouge wrote it, so he's the authority.
I guess so.
Krieger just, I think, he was spoken to by, much like the cat in the ear. He felt the Nain Rouge, and he was going around with the Nain Rouge, with the hot one. He got the sexy run, the sexy Nain Rouge, to go, and you could do photo opportunities. Get another regret that I was not in Detroit around this time.
Does every city have its own Forrest Gump? He's like, that's such a weird thing to say of someone.
It's the Krieger paradox. Every city has a Forrest Gump, according to...
Who would ours be? Oh, man, I don't know.
We have a
beloved man who's been around for lots of stuff.
Big Tex.
Oh, that's ours, yeah.
He's been around for everything. He caught on fire.
Yep.
But he's back.
Not the same. It's like when somebody goes to a spa for like a month and you're like, look, something's different about you. They're like, no, it's not. My nose is exactly how it was when I left a month ago. And you're like, something looks kind of off, though.
I broke my nose on the set of Halloween. That's what Kyle Richards kept saying.
Who says that?
Kyle Richards.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Got very into Real Housewives, y'all know.
Yeah. The Nain Rouge also became a movie star in his own right. In 2017, Devil's Night, Dawn of the Nain Rouge, was shot in Detroit. Directed by Sam Calagies, the film follows a veteran who joins the police force and hunts a dark supernatural creature on a murder spree in Lake Orion, just outside Detroit. The killer? Spoiler alert, it's the Nain Rouge. And a particularly Detroitist twist, one of the film's co-stars is Nathan Mathers, Eminem's brother.
That whole paragraph sounded like a fever dream.
Yeah. We had to put phonetically, it's not Lake Orion, it's Orion. And we didn't know that, so we learned something. Thank you.
I was watching an interview with the director, and he was very pleased to be shooting in the area, very pleased to have Nathan Mathers. And then I went on Amazon and on IMDb and just found reviews. And is anyone here from Lake Orion? Woo woo! Someone goes, we don't have a murder spree. We don't even have a litter spree in Lake Orion. The way they shot it, I don't know if you're familiar with Devil's Night, Dawn of the Nain Rouge, but it looks like a post-apocalyptic wasteland that is just ravaged by a demon killer. And someone was like, that is not even close to where did you
We have
shoot
a beautiful
this?
city. There's a lake.
They chose all the worst. They're like, just use a dumpster. And it's like, what? No. But it is, the reviews are key.
Well, good for Nathan for finding his own way. Because it has to be, you have to feel like you've been living in your brother's shadow. If your brother's Eminem, that's hard. I mean, God, he's gotten so hot.
With age, yeah. Like a fine wine.
Man, for real.
No,
that halftime show, I think about that once a week. That halftime show. All of them. All of them. Except 50 Cent, not him.
Sorry, buddy.
But everybody else aged very nicely. While the debate of whether the Nain Rouge is a friend or foe may carry on, John Tenney makes a solid point, despite which side of the fence you may fall.
The Nain has been a resident of Detroit for longer than any of us, and the spirit of the Nain will continue long after we're all gone.
Runrow also concedes that both sides make valid points.
For me, the crux of it is that there's an enigmatic quality, so no matter which way you slice it, I think it's totally reasonable to have a variety of perspectives on it.
Tenney shared his perspective with the Detroit Metro Times when asked if he thinks of the Nain Rouge as a paranormal being.
If it exists in your mind or your imagination, it exists as much as anything else does.
Hatman style.
Dude.
Perception's reality. Jeff Probst said it. He knows everything.
Survivor.
So it all comes back to Survivor.
But this, I love the subtle shade.
A lot of shade is
in
strong.
all of the, because Tenney says you can think whatever you want to think. The Nain Rouge is what he is and will be when you're dead. Like, fuck, turn the knife. But yeah, it's, I think this is a battle of the titans here. Bruno versus Tenney. We got to have a debate.
Well, what do we think?
Oh.
Whose side are you on?
I think, I don't know if I'm allowed to comment, but please forgive me. I think I'm on the Tenney side. That I love the Nain Rouge, the idea that he's misunderstood. He's a misunderstood creature.
Like
He's
so many
Forrest
of us.
Gump. He's just palling around Detroit.
He's Forrest Gump.
He's Forrest Gumping it around Detroit. He's here for every major thing.
Mild-mannered, humble as pie, Forrest Gump. That's what this thing is.
He's throwing out aphorisms here and there. But I do like the idea that the villain here was the hubris of man and not being grateful. Whether the Nain Rouge is a literal thing, I think it is. I mean, I've seen him on the news, just saying. Or just the general concept of she said, beware of undue ambition or like blind ambition and letting that take over your life. And we see that did, and Cadillac's ass got guts.
Still had a car named after him.
You know what? That's the only thing is her whole fortune was that your kids will inherit nothing and then your name will be forgotten. Although, really, we remember Cadillac as a great car, a great, amazing product of Detroit, not as, well, we named it after this person that was a founder. So, I mean, maybe. Until doing this research,
I didn't know that's how Cadillac got named.
No, I thought it was a very fancy name of a car. So I like that idea that it's something now that is beyond him, that his name isn't as important as the product that this city made kind of went on without him.
I'm Team Tenney.
Team Tenney too?
I'm Team Tenney.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that he looks fine. He looks like he's misunderstood. I think, like all lores, it's to teach us a lesson.
True.
We did not read anything that he was like, don't go in the forest, kids, or the Nain Rouge will get you. Like all of it to keep him home from doing it. I don't know why. I've done this at like 2 of our past live shows. I've made this motion with my hand. That's too many.
That's so many. For people at home listening, she's fingering her handhole.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it? You guys would call it just finger your handhole? What is that? Just finger your handhole.
That's what I'm doing, yeah. Yeah, I like him. I think that, like Tenney said, history is all kind of just whoever writes it.
True.
It's their perspective. So how do we really know? There's a lot of different versions of it. So if you want to rewrite it.
He's going in the Cryptid Hall of Fame with us, I think, along with Mothman.
Do you consider him a cryptid?
I think so.
Okay.
I think he's Mothman style, Jersey Devil style, like shows up, appears. He's more, I think he and Mothman are up there with usefulness, so you come and tell someone something good or bad is going to happen. And so I think, he needs to go he needs more recognition, because until Casey told us about this and we started doing more research on it, I had no awareness of the Nain Rouge, and I think he needs to go international.
Yeah. If he's not viral, he's got to go viral.
This is such a great character. It's because he is
I think doing this out of the love of Detroit. I don't think it's like if you said every time there's a fire, there's the fire trucks here. Interesting. Maybe they're setting fires. That is a thing. But 99.99999% of the times, they're there to help. He was there to help. So I don't think you blame the smoke alarm or the first responders for coming out when something goes bad. I think the Nain Rouge is just there being like, hey, pay attention. No one paid attention to me. That's fine. I'll help clean up your machinery that's in ruins. Pitching in.
Well, next March, isn't it?
Yep.
That's when the parade is.
March is in March.
I want a solid hell yeah that everyone in this room is going to go. Yeah. Maybe we'll come back for it.
We got to do
Heather's
it.
trying to get with this devil, so maybe we'll
Just want to meet him. I just feel.
just want a photo op with
I just
them.
want to photo op with him. He has these cool satiny gloves he wears.
Oh, you think he leaves those on?
He better.
Well, that's the episode for tonight, but if you've been to a live show, it's not over yet. Don't worry. If you're a Patreon of ours, round of applause for yourselves.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you so much for your support. So you're probably familiar with this bit that we do on Patreon, and we're going to do it for you guys here tonight.
Yes.
I have my gavel. This is my gavel. I'm a judge. It's called Judge Christie. Sorry, baby. We have to move you just a tiny bit.
So you can gavel.
My jurisdiction is global, and you cannot appeal anything. All rulings are final. So what we're going to want from you guys, if you want to get your brain start working, is just a small grievance that you have. No bummers. That's our only rule. And then when you yell out, I have a grievance, and they bring you the microphone, just briefly tell us what it is, and we'll ask you some questions if we need more information, and then we'll rule on it.
Yes.
And Heather always gets us started with her own grievance to kind of set the tone.
This is a me versus probably decency in society. So I don't as much anymore until now. We have been traveling and I have been doing it more often. But I don't travel on elevators as much as I used to. I used to work in a building where we had this keypad. It was not a keypad. It was almost like a little iPad. And you selected your floor from the iPad. And then the elevators were computer controlled so that it was more efficient. So when you get in the elevator, there's no buttons. There's not like door closed, door open, whatever. But now that we are on tour and we're in a lot more, hotel elevators or whatever, I am not a door holder opener for other people.
Oh, I noticed yesterday.
Getting on the elevator. So
Neither is Leanne.
No, we just get on.
I'll have this in common. I just heard her laugh. And then Tommy started doing it, I think, as a bit just to mock you guys. But now,
whatever.
Anytime I get in the elevator, if somebody's coming up, they're like, fucking close before this person gets here. Close. Which I read that those close buttons they don't do anything. It's just there to make us feel better.
I heard from an elevator engineer that on certain brands of elevator.
You know an elevator engineer?
Yeah.
Personally?
He worked at a building in Chicago, yes.
Okay. I felt like that was just a poll that was, I know an elevator engineer, and you're wrong.
No, I'm just saying. He said that it's not on every brand of elevator, but on certain types of elevators, if you push the floor you're going to and the door close button at the same time, that indicates the elevator don't stop on any other floor.
Oh.
But it depends, so it varies. So I do it on every elevator that I get into, just in case. We don't know if it works.
Of the time, you're right every time.
If someone is coming towards the elevator and I'm on it, I will either pretend I don't see them, maybe look down slightly, or be like, oh, let me push the open button, but I'm probably pushing the close. And then be like, oh, sorry, don't put your arm through, because there have been mishaps.
Yeah.
I knew somebody that was their whole job as a lawyer, was working on lawsuits of elevators gone wrong, and she told me, you would believe the things I've seen.
I bet.
Dude.
God, if you have a whole department dedicated to that, it happens too much.
That's the threshold we cross when the elevator doors close. Life's in your hands. You don't even know. So I'm not trying to put my arm out to hold it. Maybe for y'all, if we're all in the same party. But I think this may have been ruder 2019 and before, but I think in the age of germness, I'm not trying to breathe other people's
Yeah,
mouth.
but you're just using that as to validate your always.
I just don't like to wait for people. Is my
What
number
is
one
so
thing.
that is that what it is?
My thing is I shouldn't have to let other people get on the elevator if I'm ready to go and they're far away. I'll hold the door open. I'm a door holder opener, but not elevators.
Like a physical door?
Yeah, like we were at Tim Hortons the other day. I held the door open for.
But that's also waiting.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm happy to do doors,
Oh, interesting.
not elevators.
Elevator is just a moving door.
I guess that's true. It's a door to another floor.
That's I don't know I would be less likely to hold a door open versus an elevator.
Well,
Because the door I gotta like use my arm and I just have to use my finger. Less
apparently
work.
those buttons are a lie.
I guess so. I don't know. It depends. Both door and elevator. It depends on how far the person away.
That's the other thing is if there is some distance.
If I'm on an elevator and someone from that exit sign is like, hold the door, that's too far.
Too far. It's never gonna happen.
Same with the physical door. I'm not standing here for like 45 seconds until you get over here.
Too far.
That's not happening.
So my question is me versus other people that want to get on the elevator. Am I a monster for nowadays? Not
For nowadays?
not because, like I said,
Yeah, but you're using the pandemic as an excuse for not wanting people in the elevator, which you've always felt that way.
I like the one that was the one that in my old office. That was the computer. The chips
I've
fell
never
where
been
they
on that
may.
kind of fancy
Oh, it was wild.
elevator.
It was very confusing.
I will say the hotel we were at yesterday, was it yesterday or today?
Yes, yesterday.
That elevator, slow. These people from, we were in Canada. There were a lot of nationalities, which was wonderful. It was very diverse. They're like, you'll be waiting here for 35 minutes. You can't even get on that lift. Nobody can get on the lift, blah, blah, blah. And then George Brown told us, well, you just take the service elevator. And we're like, I don't think we're supposed to do that. What are they going to do? Nothing, because we did it the rest of the time we were there. Nobody said anything.
I am a guest, and it is a service for me to get a ride in an elevator. So it worked. Also, if they needed help carrying something, I would have helped. You know, you got a cart full of towels. You need help pushing it in and out. I'll pitch in if it means I get where I'm going faster.
I do not think that it's wrong that you don't want to have a bunch of people in the elevator now.
Thank you.
I will say, Heather McKinney does not like to be inconvenienced. Neither does Christy Wallace. But Heather McKinney really doesn't like to be inconvenienced. So if it means that she's got to wait for something.
I hate waiting for things.
Yeah, same.
It's a
She
problem.
drives like she elevates. It's the same.
Bad out of health.
It's the same. But I do not think you're a monster. I think
you.
you're wonderful. But please don't have this apply to me.
No, I'm not gonna. I love you, so I'll push the button open, but I'm not putting a limb through.
No, you don't have to put a limb through.
Not after what my friend has seen.
You don't have to put a limb through. No limbs through. Final ruling.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't ever put a limb through. God, I got bonked by the one today.
It did. The elevator just went.
Yeah, like, bitch, like, walk faster. I was like, what is happening? And Tom was like, it's like our Roomba. It's trying to figure out, like, where you are and how to get away. So that's how it goes. So if you have a grievance, yell out, I have a grievance.
Oh, we got one.
And we'll have someone bring you the
Yeah,
mic
right
right
here.
here. Keep your hand up. Here
All right.
comes Jamie. Everybody give Jamie a round
Thank
of
you, Jamie.
applause. She's been great. And tell us your name and pronouns, please.
Ray, she, her.
Ray, you said?
Ray, she, her.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, hello.
So,
Talk a little bit more into the
Yeah,
mic.
hold it up
Okay,
a little.
sorry.
There you go.
No, you're
that's-
good. No worries.
I've spent a lot of pandemic time on TikTok, as most people did. And during my time on TikTok, my husband's ex-wife was a frequent part of my algorithm.
Part of your what?
My algorithm.
Oh.
She was on my For You page a lot. And there was a lot of videos of her talking about my current husband, her ex-husband. So she had a P.O. box in her bio. I sent her a spring-loaded glitter bomb.
Did you really send her a glitter bomb?
Yeah,
Wow.
I have a
I've never
video
known
of
someone
her
to actually
open-
do that.
She posted a video of it, so that was great. That also showed up on my For You page.
Did she know it was you?
No, it was anonymous.
Oh, nice.
Did she know it was a glitter bomb when she was opening it?
I mean, she opened it.
She found out, didn't she?
That's so fun to. You're like a literal fly on the wall. You get to
She-
see somebody experience it, and they don't know it was you.
Yeah, so I don't. Am I going to jail for?
No. Wait. So
Judge
she's
Christie.
your husband's ex, but she's talking about him.
Yeah.
Like, what is she saying?
I just. They had a dog together, so there's a lot of dogs.
They had what, dogs?
A dog, yeah.
So they had a dog
No
together?
kids, no kids. They had dogs together.
Okay.
And then she mentions a lot about how he gave her the love of her life, which is
Wait,
a dog.
he was her.
The dog is the love of her life.
The
Sick
dog,
burn on your
but
ex-husband.
she-
though.
Yikes.
But yeah, she brings him into the dog being the love of her life.
Did she name him or did she says my ex?
She's named him once
Wow.
that I know of. I don't look for her. I just let her show up.
That's wild.
Like, it's
that the
like
algorithm-
Russian roulette at this point.
Have you liked her videos?
Not on
But you
purpose.
watched them.
Yes, always.
It knows that
Does
you
it know
watch
that?
Yeah, it knows what you watch. Even if you don't like it, it knows what you spend most of your screen time on.
Well, I mean, the first time it happened, I was sitting next to him. I'm like, what's she look like? Because I've seen pictures of her, but not recently. And
You're like, what does she look like covered in glitter? I'm about to find out.
I was like, well, do you like this? Glitter.
No, you are not a monster.
Not
I
at
think
all.
that's great. It's a harmless thing, but it's also like we talked about glitter the other night.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks. Glitter sucks.
The herpes of
Yeah,
It'll wreck
correct. She's
everything.
never getting rid of it. And but the best part is she doesn't even know it's you. That's
Yeah,
for you.
I love
That's
it.
for you.
Does she have a lot of followers?
Yeah,
Oh, like in the tens of thousands?
and 100,000.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so we may have seen this person on TikTok.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like,
I mean, if-
TikTok glitter bomb reaction video.
Yeah, we will
Dog
search for
lover.
that.
I have the video. You
Oh,
wanna see it?
Oh, drop that
Shoot that to me.
link in our
DM me.
DMs.
I'll put it in
We
your
won't
DMs.
put her handle on blast
Gotcha.
unless
No,
you
no.
want to.
But we'll watch it.
We're not going to do it. Yeah. No, final ruling.
Fine.
You're not a monster. She needs to stop.
She needs to keep your husband's name out her mouth and she
Yeah,
don't want to eat some glitter in her mouth. Boom. Thank you.
Who else has a grievance? Who else has a grievance?
Oh, we got one right,
here in the middle.
Hey, hey. All right.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Holly, she,
Holly.
her.
Thank you.
And fellow Esquire, Heather.
And what?
Fellow Esquire.
Oh, you're
gonna-
also an Esquire?
Oh,
Yes, I'm an
nice.
attorney
What's up?
also.
Yeah.
What's up, what's
Do
up?
lawyers really put that in their names?
Sometimes.
Oh, you can.
Sometimes, yeah.
Usually, if they're working like a job that's like JD preferred, like where if you're a prosecutor, they know you're a lawyer. But if you're like director of business development, but also a lawyer, like I could put Esquire on account of I'm a comedian now.
You should. Please start going by that.
I'm Heather, or I'm Christy, and I'm Heather Esquire. Let's get into it. I'll start doing that.
All right. Sorry, Holly. What is your grievance?
So my grievance is with my father's new wife. So stepmommy dearest. So they have a 4-bedroom home that my father had before they got married. And there's a beautiful bathroom upstairs, and there's a nice small bathroom downstairs, which is next to the guest bedroom, which is what I use when I'm visiting. So stepmommy dearest uses the downstairs bathroom usually when she's getting ready day to day. And regardless of whether I'm visiting or not, 6 a.m., she blares music, the bathroom door open, right next to my bedroom, and also sings along.
What
kind of music?
Jinx.
This is a live, laugh, love kind of stepmommy. So we're talking like T-Swift, not the good stuff, you know.
I feel like she sings, she plays I Hope You Dance.
Yes. I've been woken up to that before.
Yeah.
So one time my dad was texting me as I was visiting. And by the way, she's done this also when I had a friend visiting with me. So she woke up both of us.
And your friend's like, what the fuck is happening? Good stepmom.
And recently when I was home, you know, I wanted to keep the status quo, not bitch and moan about it, whatever. But recently, my dad, I was visiting and he texted me, said, "How are you?" And I said, "Well, I got woken up to, T-Swift blaring with so-and-so's singing." And so he asked her the next morning, he wrote a little note on her radio and said, "Will you please turn down the music a little bit? It's waking up people in the house," which it's literally
People
just,
in the house.
Yeah. I was like, "Dad, she knows it's me."
She knows it was you.
And she didn't speak to me for 3 days after that.
She sounds like a monster.
So I'm wondering if I'm kind of like the asshole because it's her home and I'm a guest, or if she's just
I mean,
very
she sounds like an asshole, period.
Repeat, and you said it's a 4-bedroom house. There are more than
There's
one
a bathroom upstairs
Yes.
by her bedroom.
No, this is a
Yes.
flex. This woman is flexing. Even
Yeah.
in the
It
silence.
does sound like
she's
a flex.
Yeah, she's flexing, but it's extra hard when you're there. She should be ashamed of herself.
I am so worried about how others feel in my home.
Yeah.
That I will tiptoe around my own house if someone is asleep or staying over, because I hate morning noises, is what I call them. I don't want pots and pans banging around. I don't want talking.
My husband shaves every morning
No.
with an electric razor that's the sound of a fucking jet engine. It's just so loud. And he has to be able to see, so he has a giant spotlight, which, anyway, this is another grievance from before. But we only have that bathroom for him to get ready in because it has all the things he needs to get ready in. And I think if we had a guest particularly, I would say we got to close every possible door. Could you use maybe just a regular razor? She knows what she did.
It's inconsiderate for her to do this, for sure. Yeah. And then to not speak to you is just childish. 2 for 2.
We're on that wavelength.
Thank you.
So when she started talking to you again, did she broach the subject?
No,
There's been no acknowledgement of this?
No, she sent me, and by the way, this woman's over, I think she might be 50. She apologized to me through a text while I was still in her home. Saying that her hormones were going crazy and she was sorry.
Oh, so she's blaming it on menopause is what she's doing. Well, I mean, she could be. I don't know. But it's your period. What are you going to do? Argue with her about it?
Yeah, just let her have it.
Yeah, you can't. It's like in high school. You're like, why are you late? Cramps.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, I got nothing. No
I
teacher
can't-
can challenge you on that.
I can't climb that rope to the ceiling. I have the menses. Well, I'm glad she apologized.
Yeah, although it was through text, which is odd.
Has she done it anymore?
Oh yeah, she does it every time.
The fuck?
Don't apologize if you're going to keep doing it.
No, I don't like that.
No,
I don't like that at all.
you're not a monster. She is. She needs better taste in. Well, I love T-Swift, but she needs to be listening to the good stuff.
It doesn't matter. Anything at 6 o'clock in the morning is a
I don't care what it
nightmare.
is. Yeah,
it
my
doesn't
own
matter.
children's voice. I don't want to hear it at 6 a.m.
No.
Nothing at 6 a.m. Finally, you're not a monster. Maybe you take one of those upstairs bedrooms. Maybe you switch bedrooms.
Or throw her-
You do your own flex.
Put her radio in the toilet. I don't know.
Final ruling.
Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Who else has a grievance? Anyone? Oh,
right
right in
here.
front. You can just pass it right up in front. Look at that. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Done.
And you guys have all your little hoodies on. Those look great.
What's up?
This is my bestie, Heather.
Hi,
up,
bestie. What's your name?
I'm Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
My grievance is more like a society type thing.
Okay.
Gender roles specifically. So this is my husband, Brett.
Hi, Brett. Did you get dragged here? You've never heard of this? Yeah.
Thanks
We
for
know.
coming.
We know.
Thanks for not leaving.
He
How about
hears
that?
it.
Some guy in the back just raised his hand.
He was
too,
like, me too. I don't want to
see-
come to this.
Y'all hook up. Y'all can be
I'm
fr-
very
y'all-
familiar with your voices. Anytime my children are around, I hear your voices.
Oh,
Great.
well,
Thank
thank
you so much.
Thank you. He's like, I don't listen, but I fucking hear you all the time.
Oh, do I
I
hear
was
it?
dragged to this tonight. Hopefully you're having a good time. What is your general grievance?
My general grievance is that people assume that because we have 4 girls, that it's a burden on him somehow, and also that because he is the husband, that I have to come home and take care of 5 children. It's been brought up a lot.
You have 5 kids?
Well,
they have 4.
The husband. who's
Oh,
oldest.
4 plus
Yeah,
you're
4
including
plus-
him.
yeah,
Okay,
and,
I got you.
So, and I just kind of go along with it though too, like, because I feel like it's kind of another gender stereotype that if you're a woman, you have to be like the caring, take care of, patient. You know, he does most of the kids stuff. If I built them and birthed them.
You grew
and
them?
I grew them, yeah.
That's magic.
But he's like the mom, and I'm like the dad.
But everyone assumes it's reversed.
And, right, but I just go along with it. So does that make me a jerk? Because I don't want to like be like, well, actually, I'm a shit mom, and you know, he does lots of the caring of the children, and you know, I'm there for support. Usually, it's the other way around.
Are you a shit mom? No, I don't think you're a shit mom.
But like the way that's my perception of how they would react if I say, well, actually, you know. he doesn't."
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, like
So I
you're
just
letting
go along
down
with it. Like, yeah, you're right.
everyone that cares about gender roles. Tommy does a lot of stuff for our children that most of my mom friends would do, because that's just how things go.
Yeah.
But like he usually takes Ella to school in the morning and stuff. It started because we all know I didn't have a driver's license. I now have it, and I will take her to school. But thank you. Thank you very much. But usually, like, I'll stay with Simon because he's sleeping, and so Tommy will take her. And so and Tommy also does all the cooking. I do not cook. I choose not to cook.
I do not cook. I mean, I don't cook either. I would say a good response. First of all, these are personal questions. I know about the nature of you and Tommy's parenting habits by virtue of you mentioning it to me, but I would never deign to assume how anyone divvies up any tasks.
It's really
I
no
like a
one's
good
business but
response.
yours.
We do all right. You know, like, I don't want to entertain this. Like, it must be so hard to get home and your husband is a baby. And it's like, he's an adult, grown person. He's fine.
Yeah.
That's so bizarre. I think a lot of times the things that people say to us is a reflection of them versus anything that you did. And so somebody may be envious because they do have a shit baby husband and you don't. You know what I mean? And so, and other people are perfectly happy doing certain things and leaving it to the other spouse, regardless of whatever gender roles there are. But I would guarantee you most people are probably wishing that they had a boo like you.
Yes. Yeah.
When they say shit like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I
That they're
think-
like, oh, must be nice. And you're like, it fucking rules.
Yeah, it's fucking
Let
great.
me just say, as I was like,
I can sleep in and he cooks. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about it.
I'm like, I thank God every
this
day for
morning.
my life.
I think-
Praise the Nain Rouge.
I think people also like throw that stuff out to see like, are they in the same boat I'm in? So then you'd be like, I know, doesn't it suck that our husbands are basically our kids too? And you're like, actually, mine is a grown man and he loves this new true crime podcast that he was forced to listen to.
Because we talked about what a great husband he
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
This isn't just
That's how we
us.
went over the men, the
folk,
our men
the
listeners.
non-listener folks. We just like heap compliments and praise on you. No, I think you're right too. Is that maybe it's coming from a place of you're like, well, that's not how it is at my house, but is that what you have to go home to? Are you okay? Is everything okay? Turn it around. Turn it around on because it's
Final
probably
ruling,
them.
your gender is a social construct, so none of it matters, and nobody can say shit about how you do anything because it's none of their business. There you go.
They didn't make them kids.
They didn't cook those babies.
Stuff their comments in their pockets. Who has a grievance now?
Oh, wow. Oh, now
So many.
everyone's like,
So many.
this made me think of this. We got like 5 in the front row now.
What do you think?
Front row I saw first.
We got right here.
Thank you.
Tell
Thank
us hello.
you. What's your name and
Jackie,
pronouns?
she, her.
Jenny. Nice
Jackie.
to meet you.
Jackie.
Jackie.
Jackie?
Yes.
Did you DM me about pizza?
I did.
What's up?
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much. It was
Was
good
it buddies?
pizza. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
sweet. Nice.
Also, I have one of those wonderful husbands who does all the laundry and the cooking and the cleaning, so I don't have to, and I get to sleep in. It's
Hell
marvelous.
There you go. Lots of
and-
good
and-
guys in the house tonight.
This was my Mother's Day gift, so he gets an
Aw,
extra points.
praise.
So, my grievance, actually, Heather, I'm very much like you with scary movies. Hate them, fucking hate them.
They're rough.
And so when I was, 6, my brothers decided it would be awesome to lock me in the basement with them and make me watch it on TV.
Oh, no.
So this weekend we were at a friend's wedding, and this is something that he does like kind of regularly. He's a wonderful husband. He likes to fuck with me, and so we went to Walgreens. And it is red nose season at Walgreens. So if you can kind of see where we're going with this, he decided it would be hysterical to hide the red nose in my luggage so that I would find it.
Oh, no.
This happens occasionally.
That is funny, though.
That's a good move. That's a funny move.
So we saw The Grudge, I think, once, and he woke me up in the middle of the night doing that, like,
That's how you get punched in the throat.
Okay, so that's my question,
also
right?
funny, but I would have punched you in the throat had you done that to me.
So my question and my grievance is, who's the asshole here?
Oh, I think you have earned the right to prank back.
Yeah. You gotta fight fire with fire. You
That's
gotta
always
prank
the
back.
answer.
But he's a Marine and he's not scared of anything.
Well, maybe.
We're all scared of something.
Yeah, everybody has something.
I haven't found it yet.
Maybe it's not fear. Maybe it's
Maybe I'll like leave a positive pregnancy test in the bathroom.
There you go.
We've been
There you
together
go.
for a minute. So also we got your anniversary, March 19th.
Yes.
17 years ago.
Oh, it's a good
good
lucky day.
Good day.
Lucky day. Yeah, wow. Everybody's scared of something, man. It's
Yep.
coming. She'll find it. She's
Might not
gonna
be
find
like a traditional scary, like monster type thing, but I mean,
Doesn't have to be-
public speaking.
your own mortality. You're
Yeah.
gonna die someday. We all are. Everyone in here.
Snakes. Tommy's scared of spiders.
Also snakes.
What?
Snakes on a plane?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So-
Flying. People are scared of that. Everybody's scared of something.
Yeah, I would say dedicate the remainder of your marriage and lives to finding his greatest fear and then exploiting
Yep.
it at the most inopportune, unexpected times.
Yeah, you got to get them back. It's a long con, but it'll pay off in the end.
And what month is it? I've also only been married 2 months though, so what do I know?
Yes.
So
Good
am
luck.
I an asshole for having punched him in
No.
the face?
You
No.
punched him when he grudged you?
If you're woken up, grudge style?
I might have given him a black eye a couple times.
Oh, you earned that, buddy.
But you're woken up in fear.
Yeah, no,
It
here,
could be Golden State Killer standing over you or something. You don't know what's going on.
For months after I read that book, I was always just like
Yeah.
right above me. God,
No.
you can't be doing that.
Tommy walks into a room just doing nothing, and I
Scream.
am like, ah! Like every time. And he'll just be like, what do you want for dinner? Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's not even like trying to scare me. But
I turned the wrong way over my shoulder today, like the Three Stooges, and Leanne had gone the other way. And then when I turned, you go, she's right there, and I went, ah!
yeah,
We're in the
very, we're easily startled.
Yes.
If Tommy woke me up doing,
Or like,
one, we'd be sleeping in separate beds for a while until that got straightened out. Also, our kids sleep in the bed with us, so I'd be like, what are you, fucking monster? What are you trying to do?
I love this imaginary Tommy that would never do any
would
of
never.
that.
No,
And you're
he
like,
would
what
never
the
do
fuck
this
is
in-
wrong with you, imaginary Tommy?
He would never do this in a million years.
Never.
If he did and I punched him, that is fine.
Yeah, I think that's completely fine.
You're well within your right
Totally.
to defend yourself.
Totally. Yes.
Final ruling.
Absolutely.
I think you were defending yourself.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're awake and he walks in and you see it coming and you still punch him,
This is, yeah.
that's a little different.
different.
What if you're blow drying your hair and he sneaks up behind you so you can't hear him?
He what?
Don't be doing
What if
that.
you're blow drying your hair and he sneaks up behind you so you can't hear him?
You monster.
Right? Right?
God. Oh, wow. Yeah,
plan.
that's good, but also you're a monster. There was like 3 people right over here, right there.
Just pass it around.
Just pass it around.
Go for it.
I think you got it. You got it, and then everyone's so polite. Because you're close to Canada, that's why.
It's trickle-down
right.
effect.
What's your name and pronouns?
Etta, she, her.
Hi, Etta.
Hi. Okay, so I started working, I'm married with 3 children, right? Like 8, 6, and 4. The middle child gets
Hold it a
lost.
little close. Can we
Here,
turn the mic
okay.
up just a tad? But also just hold it closer to your mouth.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that
Sorry.
better?
No, it's hard for me to hear up here.
Okay,
You have 3 children.
Yeah, 8, 6, and 4.
Okay.
And I started working like a year ago while my husband went back to school. And I decided that I'm making my money now. I'm going to spend it how I want. So I'm going on vacations by myself because traveling internationally with 3 little children frequently,
Can't
it
imagine.
sucks, right?
Yeah.
I have to worry about what they want to do. I have to worry about what my husband wants to do. I have to worry about what I want to do. It's more stressful than enjoyable.
It's not a vacation.
Right.
It's a trip.
It's a trip.
Then
Mandatory.
you're the tour guide and
Yeah.
you're the travel agent and everything.
Yeah, you're the unwilling travel agent. You've been forced into that role.
Yeah. So my husband gets upset. He says, "Why do you get to go on these vacations by yourself? I never got to do that." I said, "You never did it because you didn't do it. That's your bad. You can do it. You can do it."
Would you let him do it?
Oh, absolutely.
Then why didn't he do it?
I've sent him on vacations before.
Wow.
Begrudgingly. Like, he didn't want to, but he did it.
He didn't want to go on vacation, and you were like, go on vacation away from your 3 kids?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
I don't know.
I can't imagine that life.
I mean, I don't have any kids and I travel great. It's fantastic. So I wouldn't want to add a bunch. If I had the opportunity to live like what's going on now, or just have 3 dependents, I'm okay. I'm good to
Yeah.
go. So,
so
where were
I'm-
you going to go? Or did you go already?
She's gone on many.
Oh, yeah, I've gone on a few vacations. So,
What cool places did you go to?
well, I live in Italy part-time, but so traveling there by myself. But Stockholm a couple times.
Dang.
So-
And so he's home with the kids while you're gone.
Yeah.
When you book these trips, do you say, hey, I'd like to do this? Is that okay
Oh,
with you?
absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So he gives you the permission.
Yeah, but then he's just kind of like, well,
Yeah.
why are you know?
We had this last night.
I don't like, you can't set a trap for someone.
Yeah, if you
So
give someone permission, you can't be pissed off when they do it. That's what we decided last night.
Yeah, when you take the opportunity that he's given you, he then, I think, loses the right to squawk about it later because you have already said, I'm doing these things. If there's a fundamental change of circumstances, that's all well and good. Or he can express to you whatever sadness he has or he feels left out. But you can't all of a sudden be like, that's not fair. I want to do that, man. No. We can talk about it. So I think if you have the means and the ability to travel separately, there's something to be said for that. You're going to have experiences. You can teach your kids about it. That's going to be an amazing thing that you say, I went on this trip on myself, and show them that it's possible. So I think there's also benefits of being a whole person and, being able to bring that back.
Yeah. If he said it, if he's cool with it, and then he's not really cool with it, that's on him for saying he was cool with it.
There you go.
What if you got a babysitter for the kids and you and him went on a trip?
Oh, we've definitely all gone on the trips together too,
Yeah,
but
but they're not fun. Is it fun if you're just with your husband? You just like to go on trips by yourself.
yeah,
I get it. I get it.
they are fun. But he and I have
You said
different-
that like they're not though.
He's a Pisces, I'm Aquarius. We have different ideas of fun.
He's a what?
He's Pisces, I'm Aquarius.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what y'all's ideas of fun are, but
I went like this, like I knew. I was like,
oh yeah.
But in my mind, I was like, Aquarius is water, Pisces is fish. They sound like best friends. So that's how much I know about the zodiac.
So what's your question?
Am I the monster? Or is it?
No, I think if he says that it's okay to go, then he can't be mad. If he really doesn't feel that way, then he should say like, no, I don't want you to go. I think you should stay here and hang out with us. But if he says you can go, I don't think you're a monster for going.
Go on.
Yeah, book those tickets.
Book it.
Book it.
Book them.
Book 'em, bailiff. I think we have time for one more. What did you say?
Oh, they said, properly, I heard I had
Well,
a group.
and you'd
We
been
had it
waiting
here?
too.
Okay.
We'll do two. We'll do two.
We'll do
Pass
two.
it right there, and then we'll come to you next. Jamie's like, I'm walking up here for nothing. Right next. Who had it? Okay. Who's going? Y'all are all so
guess I
nice.
am.
I figured it out amongst yourselves. We're just here.
Well, hello, I'm Gina. She,
Hi,
her.
Gina.
Hi, nice to meet you in person.
Hello,
Nice to
hello.
meet you in person.
So I guess my grievance is me against companies and their work compensation, and I have a story for that. And so I have a few professions. I'm an audio engineer, I'm a working vocalist, and I am a yoga instructor. And so I have recently been going on interviews, like legitimate interviews. Like I want to have the job, but then I realize that they're wasting my time based on the amount that they're paying, especially based on my experience. And so I just start telling companies off, and I'm starting to apply to jobs just to yell at these companies about how poorly they're
Wait, so you're applying for jobs so that you can turn them down?
Yeah.
So she's very well qualified for several things, is what I'm hearing. And that what happens is you get far enough along in the interview process, they hide the salary from you until you have spent so much time interviewing with them, and then they come at you with the lowball offer, and they're not willing to budge.
Yeah. I actually went on one interview, and it was just a phone interview, and that's what actually started it off, was that I had applied for this job. I think it's in Grosse Pointe. Not that you
like
know.
the movie Grosse Pointe Blank. Seen it, love it. Go ahead.
Anyways,
it's exactly like that. Was it for a hitman position?
Well, maybe that was my villain origin. Who knows? But that was the thing. They couldn't give me an actual number. They were like, "Oh, we have a base pay, and then you get paid this." And I was like, "Well, what's the base pay?" They're like 15 to 20, and I'm like, that's not good enough. You don't even know. And then it ended up being $10 to $12. And I was like, and I forgot, we haven't reached the 15 amount for minimum wage. I was like, that's not even minimum wage. And they're like, actually, it's 40 cents more or whatever it actually is. And I'm like, oh, wow, good for you, good star. And basically, that's kind of been my journey of like when I would apply to these jobs, especially in the fitness industry, they're really trying to take advantage of people when it comes to that, like, and especially the professions that I'm in. If people don't know how to do it,
so you're applying for jobs now just to say,
to tell them how they're not paying their workers well. And so am I kind of the asshole here for going and wasting their time?
You're like Batman.
Are these companies that have wasted yours? Or are you just randomly selecting companies to give the middle finger to?
That's the direction that I'm going now. I'm only wanting to know where people are at. And I like to apply because, I mean, it's like good experience to continue interviewing, be able to interview.
People say that, and I always said.
But I don't know. Now it's fun because it's not like I need the job.
Distilling it down, you want to know, is revenge applicationing okay? You're revenge applying places. These are vengeance applications. If for some reason they came back with a legit offer, would you accept it?
Yeah.
Good faith.
Oh, yeah.
Good faith, you would accept
100%.
it. Then I see nothing wrong with what you're doing. I think you're providing a valuable service. Not everybody has the time to apply at places. And those people are learning a lesson from you. And also for other folks who are like, man, I'd like to apply, but I don't know. Now, the person that's putting the job posting up, it's like, you should think better of it next time.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Teaching them a lesson.
You're like a superhero. You're like an application superhero.
You're a vigilante.
I figured if I had the privilege,
You're a vigilante
why not?
because if they were paying a reasonable living wage, and I think you're right, the fitness industry, entertainment industry, a lot of, anything that's kind of creative or one would think would be a fun, happy job to have, I think they figure, well, a lot of people want to do it, and some people so desperately want to do it that we can take advantage of
That's
that.
what makes me upset and mad.
See? And not everybody has the chutzpah that you have that's like, gotcha, guess what, this shit is low paying. And so like I said, I think you're a vigilante. You're doing a good job. Because I think if you said no in good faith, I really am just wasting these folks' time, and I really wouldn't take the job.
Oh,
but
no,
if
because
they came,
they're not the issue then if they're paying well.
If they come back with a good offer, then
done and done.
Yeah, done, and get yourself a cape.
Get you a cape. You're a hero.
Get you a cape, you're a hero. All right,
last one
right here.
Right in the front here. All right.
Jamie is coming over.
What a night we've had so far.
What a night we have had. What's your name?
Jordan. She.
Hi,
she,
Jordan.
Her. She, her. So this is on my mom. So I'm newly engaged.
Congrats.
Thank you. And so this is kind of a two-parter. My mom is calling me a bridezilla to anybody that we talk to.
Are you one?
No.
I'm anti-bridezilla, but continue.
No, I am the most laid-back person.
Okay. You seem very laid. I mean, you're
Thank
like
you.
kicked back
Yeah.
like this on a microphone,
Yeah.
so you seem cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then the second problem I have is she's graciously paying for our honeymoon. But I have to hear her bitch about every single problem that's coming up. And I've kindly said, like, oh, well, fiance and I are just, we're happy that we're even just going. It's not a big deal. She just won't fucking shut up.
So wait, is she planning the honeymoon and paying for it, or
She was a travel agent, so to be fair, she knows what she's doing. But I don't want to fucking hear all the problems. So am I in the right to tell her to fuck off?
I wouldn't say that necessarily.
Right. But like,
what does she think you're doing that's bridezilla-ish?
Telling her to fuck off.
Telling her. No, my fiance and I are very laid back. We don't want a huge thing, and my mom and I have butt heads on every single.
So she has an
part
idea
the
of what
process.
your wedding should look like. Your idea is different, and that makes you a bridezilla to her?
Yeah, she also had a really shitty wedding herself, so she's projecting a lot.
Yeah, she's trying to live vicariously through you now.
Exactly. So, I'm
rough.
frustrated, and I don't. And,
I would be frustrated as well.
and a lot of the men in my life are saying, because it's just my mom and I are the women, and then it's my brother and my dad. And they're like, Jordan, you need to just understand. You need to just give her a break. You need to be more sympathetic to her.
Everybody needs to throw her a new wedding, is what it sounds like.
They need to do their own vow renewal.
They need a
that's
vow renewal
separate.
that she can plan and throw and do it the way she wants.
Absolutely.
And then she can go on a honeymoon that she can also plan. Is she the type that likes things to be about her?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Everything's about Joan.
Everything's about Joan.
Honestly,
I'm guessing Joan doesn't listen to the show.
No.
I think everything's about Joan is a sitcom I would watch.
Yeah, same.
For sure. And all the wacky antics she gets into. Planning a wedding is hard. Managing people's emotions is one of the harder parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally, with the help of having very strong, got your back besties like Christy, who said, this is your wedding. You get one chance at it. I mean, in theory, whatever. Hopefully it sticks.
You can get multiple chances. People
You can have multiple chances.
Like
but it's
dozens.
the one I'm having now with my husband, my first husband. And only. I told him already, I was like, we're going to die together one way or the other. Take that as you will.
Sure.
But it is a special moment, and respecting that's a special moment. It's hard to say assert your boundaries and assert yourself, but the flip side is you don't really get the experience that you wanted because you are
It's gonna be
trying
taken
to appease
from you.
someone else.
Yeah.
So we always are like, it's all about communication and just telling your mom, hey, I really appreciate that you're doing this for me. If there's anything that's massive, like the cruise ship we were going to go on is just like sank or something, let me know. Literally anything else, I trust your judgment. And I love sandwiching things of like, you're such an expert at this that anything you have to tell me, I'm not going to even be able to help with. So I would love for you to just take that and make it your own and run with it. See, maybe it'll work.
Yeah.
If not, tell her I've set up a special email address for all of the wedding stuff, and then just don't check it. Just have her
Never.
email it to it. It's fine.
Just have it all go to spam.
That's not a bad
yeah.
idea.
Second idea, elope.
Also that's.
Thought about it.
Yeah? You just have to, I was going to say you could elope and like get married and not tell them, but then you're still going to have to do the wedding.
Yeah.
I'm still going to have to deal with Joan.
Yeah, you're still going to deal with Joan. Everything's about Joan. I would tell Joan, I love you, but I'm going to do things my way. Maybe there's like a couple things that you can acquiesce on to make her feel included. But I think you're paying for the wedding? Grandma's paying. Well, then Grandma
can
really
vote.
gets to tell you what to do.
Grandma's dead.
Oh,
Grandma's
she's
what?
dead?
Grandma passed away.
Oh,
All
okay.
the money.
Then Grandma probably isn't going to tell you what to do. I don't
Unless
know.
you
I
get
don't
really
know.
quiet and you ask her to speak to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got to put your foot down about stuff because, like Heather said, this is your day and you only maybe get one. I don't know.
Also, don't let anybody call you a bridezilla because I think that word has been weaponized against women who just want to assert their opinions on things. And saying something as simple as, I actually think the colors should be maroon and gold and not navy and gold. And it's like, you fucking bridezilla telling us what color your napkins are. And it's like, that's literally part of it. Yeah, it's telling you my opinion. So there, absolutely, we went through a ton of like wedding forums when I was planning it. There are people who have bananas requests that are bridezillas that make people wear coordinated outfits and cut their hair a certain way and all that kind of stuff. you making reasonable choices is not a bridezilla, and maybe share with her some horror stories off of Reddit or something of like, can you believe this bridezilla canceled the wedding in Italy and made everyone go home and then pay for her, whatever, and be like, aren't you glad I'm not like that? Be like, this could be a lot worse. You got it pretty good, Joan.
Yeah. Yes. And also just say, you don't have to plan this honeymoon for us. Like, I think she sounds like the type of person, and correct me if I'm wrong, that constantly wants reassurance, to feel needed, but then also likes to just bitch a lot. Is that Joan?
Nailed it.
We've nailed Joan. Also a sitcom I would watch.
We've nailed Joan. I agree.
I hope that you can talk to her when it's not the heat of the moment, because it'll go better. Yeah. But just kind of, set some boundaries. And if all else fails, elope, go on a vacation by yourself, and break it to Joan. I don't know. Get pregnant, and then she'll forget about it. That's usually what grandmas do. But congrats, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming tonight.
Thank you.
You have been an amazing audience. If you're VIP, stick around. They're going to tell you what to do. If not, and this is the end of your night, have a wonderful evening. We've had so much fun. Thank you so much to the Majestic.
Thank you.
They've been so good to us, so please be good to them. As always, the devil rules the airwaves.
Keep it creepy.
Thank you guys so much. You've been great. Thank you. We love providing Sinisterhood to you at no cost, so if you like what you hear, consider supporting the show by donating to our Patreon. We're a small operation, creating the show for you by researching, writing, recording, and producing it ourselves. Any amount is sincerely appreciated and helps offset the cost of making and hosting the show.
As a thank you, you'll get some sweet perks like ad-free episodes, a Sinisterhood sticker, membership to our exclusive Patreon Facebook group for those in the ruling the airwaves and getting into it tier, a special shout-out on the show, a monthly bonus minisode. This past month was an update on the Murdaugh murders out of South Carolina, and patron-exclusive video and audio content, including videos of us at the Ohio State Reformatory. There's a video of us at the Gibraltar Point Lighthouse in Toronto. We also do audio bonuses like Am I the Asshole?, Relationship Advice, Judge Christie, Dear Sinister, True Crime Headlines, and more. And patrons in the Getting Into It tier are also able to vote on a bonus content segment each month that they would like to see us perform on live stream.
They can also vote on a main feed episode, and this past month they did the Fresno Nightcrawlers, which was very fun to learn about.
Super fun.
You also have the fun perk of access to our Discord server, where you can connect with other fans in real time and discuss the latest in true crime, share personal ghost stories, or just post adorable pictures of your pets. We hop on occasionally, and we host monthly Q&As on Crowdcast, where you can ask us all your burning questions.
For patrons not in the U.S., you have the option to pay in pounds or euros, saving you the cost of the conversion fee. Annual memberships for all tiers are also now available. Those that select this option will be rewarded with a free month of membership.
For more details on all of this and specific member tiers, visit Sinisterhood.com and click Patreon on the top banner. And make sure you stick around after our sign-offs to hear your shout-out.
So many of you have been tagging us in pictures of you sporting your sweet Sinisterhood merch. Keep those pictures coming. And if you want to get some cool Sinisterhood swag like t-shirts, mugs, totes, and even clothes for your kiddos, visit Sinisterhood.com and click Shop in the top banner.
The best thing you can do to help us grow is like, review, and follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And please tell a friend who you think would like us to check us out. You can also share any episode by clicking the 3 dots in the top right corner and share topic-based playlists from Spotify by visiting Sinisterhood.com/playlist. All of this means so much to us and really helps podcasts like us get more exposure.
You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at SinisterhoodPod and like us on Facebook at Sinisterhood. We're also on TikTok and YouTube. Christy, where are you at on the computer?
I am on Instagram at Christy M. Wallace, and I am on Twitter and TikTok at Christy or GTFO. Heather?
I'm on Twitter at MCK vs. the World and on TikTok and Instagram at Heather vs. the World.
As always, the devil rules the airwaves.
Keep it creepy. Thanks so much for supporting the show on Patreon. Here are your special Patreon shout-outs. Ellie.
Dana Odom.
Lee Claire Baker.
Alexa Christie.
Emma Watson.
Gosh, we don't know. We could find out.
This Emma Watson, we love you because you're a Patreon subscriber.
Yeah, no matter if you are Hermione Emma Watson or non-Hermione Emma Watson, we love you the same. Also, we love Holly Orr,
Maram Boutwell,
Jillian,
Kelly Nosen,
Claudia Rivera,
Emily,
Ashana A.,
Blake Contreras,
Katie O'Brien,
Emily Stroud,
Issa,
Patricia and Megan Stenfield,
Andy Avery,
Lalani Maniz,
Marianne,
Chris,
Jennifer Morrow,
Jocelyn Miles,
Jamie Settle,
Heather Peterson,
Brandy Soto,
Ellen Malminger,
Brighton Charles,
Leanne Clark,
Brittany Bloom,
Amanda,
Ashley Wingert,
Paige,
Lauren Ashley Bailey,
Maddie B.,
Rebecca,
Francesca Corendi,
Nathan Jaquez,
Christina Buchman,
and Anna Lonergan. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We hope we pronounced your names correctly. We sincerely appreciate all your love and support. We couldn't do this without you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep it creepy.
Bah ha ha ha.
Sinister.